compounds the injustice since her arrest. Meanwhile, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says Russia is now ready to talk privately about a prisoner swap involving Griner. The NFL Players Association will respond to the league's appeal of the 6-game Deshaun Watson suspension by the end of today. Then, according to ESPN's Jeff Darlington, the ruling on the appeal could come pretty quickly.
I guess the long and short of it is the NFL has not given me a timeline, but it seems very reasonable, them understanding needs to be expedited, that by, I'd say, midweek next week. Total guess on my part, but just in terms of the vibe here, I think that would be when we'd expect a decision to come down.
Jeff Darlington on Key J and Max. The first-place Dodgers get back home tonight against the Padres. Before the game, they'll hold a ceremony to honor Hall of Famer Vin Scully, who died Tuesday at 94.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Tigers on the practice field yesterday. Saints, their 9th practice of training camp earlier today. Maddy Hudak in 1 hour. She'll be with us giving us our daily Saints camp reports. You probably also saw yesterday that Jay Johnson added an infielder, a transfer from VCU, Ben Nippolt. He's going to join us in 90 minutes. So bottom of hour number 2, we'll talk to Ben Nippolt about joining LSU. Theriot's on vacation today, but he'll dial us up at 5 o'clock because he wants to read a letter. So I don't know what he's going to read it about, but that's coming up in hour number 3. Okay, Tigers hit the practice field for the first time on Thursday in fall camp. After practice, Brian Kelly met with the media. Want to talk a little bit about what Brian Kelly had to say and let you hear some of what he had to say. Notably, we did find out and did confirm that running back Trey Bradford not there. Not only was he not at practice, he's also no longer with the team. Here was Brian Kelly on Bradford.
Yeah, Trey has been separated from the university, and that's, there are Buckley, laws that I can't get into specifics there, but he is no longer on the roster.
Laws? That's interesting. That sounds a little more serious than just, hey, guy wasn't going to play, and so he's finding somewhere else to play. Wish the best for Trey Bradford. Hope all is well. His was a sort of strange circumstance anyway. A guy who signed with LSU in 2020, transferred out after his freshman season, went to Oklahoma, never played at Oklahoma before the 2021 season, transferred back to LSU. His dad went on Oklahoma message boards and was apologizing for his son leaving, saying he didn't support the decision, didn't really play much last year, and now he's leaving again. Probably for the best, maybe a new beginning, fresh start, whatever that means for Trey Bradford, wherever that may be. But it certainly, it clears the deck for what we already knew. John Emery is the guy, and he's going to be given the first opportunity, and probably means more of an opportunity as well for Noah Cain, the Penn State transfer, provided he's healthy. Tigers got to get a good running game going this year, and it's a massive opportunity for John Emery. But Trey Bradford, his LSU career apparently is over. All eyes, of course, going to be on the quarterbacks. Now, I want to set some context here. So, the Media was allowed to watch 30 minutes. Because of the weather in Baton Rouge on Thursday, they were in the indoor facility. And normally in the past, media's watched from the field level. Well, Brian Kelly has the media on the catwalk. There's a catwalk in the indoor facility, so up top, which is where the media watched practice. So if you've seen video, et cetera, you're seeing an elevated view. That's why. But I actually kind of liked it. I got to see more of the field and sort of see everything. Again, I was on air when the media availability happened, so I was not there. I'm relying on a lot of what I've seen and heard and talked to people, who were at practice. Here was Brian Kelly, by the way. He was asked about the quarterbacks and kind of talked about the quarterbacks just doing a little bit more here in the start of fall camp than they were doing in spring.
Yeah, I think they're all anxious to prove what they can do. They want that opportunity. So, they've prepared really hard, all of them. They're all in great shape. Their mental preparation, you can see it's so, further along than it was now that they know the playbook. So I think they're all anxious to get out there and, have the opportunities to showcase what they can do. And today, again, was much more of, an understanding of, the basic tenets of, footwork and across the field progressions, those kinds of things. And you can see that they're already past that. They're ready to move to the next level.
So that's great to see. So quarterbacks are doing more than just the basic stuff that they were doing whenever they were in spring. Now, the real big question becomes how they start dividing up the reps. Because what Brian Kelly has told us all along is eventually when they get into fall camp, they were going to start calling specific plays for the quarterbacks that will sort of lean into their strengths. So Kelly elaborated, this is a forum use, about how they're going to divide the reps among the quarterbacks.
So you're not going to see much separation in the first 7 days. That'll begin to take shape and form as we get into down and distance situations. So, for example, these first 2 days are really P and 10, meaning you're just dialing up, every play that is not even a down and distance play. Practice 3, we start to get into some second down. Practice 4 and 5, you start to see a little bit of third down situations. And when we get into that 6th day, you'll start to see a little bit more third down and long, where now you can start to see some play calling that is going to be situated for, the quarterbacks. So it's not going to be until that second kind of rack, if you will, that second week where we start to, pin some plays on quarterbacks.
So it makes a lot of sense. And the last time we all saw this was in 2018 when, of course, Ed Ogeron had a quarterback competition. Joe Burrow had just come in. And it was really after the first week of camp that they whittled down the reps to the real competition, where Joe started getting the lion's share of the reps, and that's when you saw two of the guys transfer out. I understand that right now you can't draw any conclusions, and I've been very open in saying that I believe that these coaches legitimately do not know who is going to be their starting quarterback. I believe that. I think they are having a competition, and they're going to figure this out based on who performs best, because they're all getting to know the talent as well. What I'm very comfortable in saying, though, is that you have to start somewhere. Somebody has to get the first rep. Like, if there's no game today, say, well, if there was a game today, but you had practice, and somebody had to go take the first rep with the first team. And while we may not have seen team drills, we did see some concepts. Like, they did run a no-huddle drill. And the mic'd-up Twitter account posted this video of Miles Brennan running the no-huddle offense. And you can look at this, and there are things you can derive. And again, this is coming from someone who's watched 15 years worth of tidbits of practices. But look at the offensive line. From left to right, that's Ben Bordelon, or Bo Bordelon, excuse me. I'm probably going to mess that up the kid's whole career. My apologies. But I'm just going to say Bordelon. It's Bordelon at left tackle. It's Xavier Hill at left guard. It's Fitzgerald West, the freshman, at center. It's Emory Jones, the freshman, at right guard. And it's Kimo Makanayoli at right tackle. Y'all, that ain't your starting offensive line. So Miles Brennan's out there running the no-huddle offense behind a bunch of freshmen. It's pretty clear he wasn't first today or on Thursday. I'm not saying, look, that could switch on the next time out. Now, the next time the media has availability to watch practice is Monday morning. So maybe Monday morning, that's completely flipped. But in this instance, that's what we saw. Our friends over at Channel 2 showed us some video as well where quarterbacks are running drills. Somebody's got to go first. And look, on Scone and T, I talked about this on Wednesday with T-Bob, and he agreed. I mean, this guy who went through camp. It's like, you can tell even in individual drills kind of what the order is based on how guys go in line. And he said, yeah, that's true. Of course it's true. The seniority, the veterans, the starters, they go first in the reps. The freshmen, the backups go next. So you can tell, man, when they were doing a footwork drill and Channel 2 posted the video of it, Jaden Daniels went first. Jaden Daniels went first, and then Miles Brennan went second, and then Walker Howard actually went third, and then it was Nussmeier. So I'm not saying you draw a great conclusion of that, but it does lend you sort of an idea of what they're thinking. I mean, Daniels went first. Let me see. There were other drills where some of the media reported that it was Nussmeier going first, and Nussmeier had a great spring, so that would make a lot of sense. So I'm not telling you they've made a final decision today, but it at least gives you an idea of where they feel like they're starting today. And I think that's where they are. And you're going to have 2 weeks to figure this out. And I'll continue to say this because by the end of your second week of fall camp, you have got to name a starting quarterback. Or even if you don't name it publicly, you have to have that person as your starting quarterback, and it's known internally because you've got to start getting ready for Florida State. In that opener against Florida State, remember, Florida State's already been practicing for a week, and they have the Week 0 game against Duquesne. They have a jump start on you. So you're going to need all the reps possible with your starting offensive line, with your starting quarterback, to get timing with receivers, depth with the running backs, all that stuff. You're going to need as many reps as possible. And so the sooner they can figure this out, the better. And Brian Kelly knows that. Look, he went through this last year. Jack Cohn was a transfer in from Wisconsin, ultimately won that starting job. So Brian Kelly's been through this before. But if you're looking for a timeline, what he's saying is believable. I believe him that he doesn't have a starter yet, and he's going to wait, at least into the second week when they start paring down and seeing what quarterbacks manage the reps. They get the specific reps that they get best. And that's when I think we'll know who the starter is going to be for LSU. All right, it's after further review. I'm not done. I want to spend 2 segments talking to LSU because Brian Kelly also went into the offensive line, talked about the running backs, talked about Kayshon Boutte, which got a lot of attention. So I want to pick up on that when we come back. Glad to have you aboard with us here. It's a Friday edition of AFR. Don't you move.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company all in one place. Agent225.com. You know where to find them. Agent225.com. Y'all, for years, I have sung Darren James's praises. And I could not be more sincere in the way that I talk about Darren because there is literally nobody that is going to work harder for you to get your home sold faster for more money. Darren often tells me, he says, man, my career goal is to put myself out of business, which sounds so funny to hear it. But what he means when he says it is he wants to create a real estate process that is so easy, so streamlined, so simple for you, the seller or the buyer, that you don't even need a realtor. I mean, when that's your goal every day, is working for your client, you're always going to have great results. And that's why Darren's on the Wall Street Journal's list of the top 1% of realtors in America. 335-7666 or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off new Ford F-150s. We have new 2021 F-150s on our lot now with $10,000 off MSRP. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
We'll head to NOLA. Maddy Hudak's going to join us in about 43 minutes from right now to start hour number 2. Get you a Saints camp report as the Saints wrapped up day 9 today. Dennis Allen did also meet with the media. Real quick, could you play Allen number 2, Muse? He was asked about Mike Thomas, who has been doing more and more, but hasn't yet returned to do team drills yet.
I think that's coming pretty soon. You know, I don't want to put an exact timetable on it, but I think that's coming pretty soon. And look, I think the reps that he's gotten, I think he's looked pretty good. Yeah, there was I was noticing Twitter from practice day. I'll ask Maddie about this. Apparently, during one of the periods, Mike Thomas went 2 for 2 against Paulson Adebo with some pretty sharp cuts. And Adebo's kind of been the star of the camp that everyone's talked about. Mike Thomas is still that guy, y'all. Don't ever forget that. And he's looks like he's out to show it. Okay, so we spent the first segment talking about the quarterbacks coming out of day 1 at LSU camp. I wanted to spend a little more time here sort of unpacking what Brian Kelly had to say about the other positions as well. After practice on Thursday, Brian Kelly did talk about his offensive line. And listen, my contention has been, I think many of you probably agree, the 2 biggest question marks on this team, quarterback, offensive line. I don't even know that there's a debate about anything else because you're going into this fall camp without a settled quarterback position and with no identified starters on your offensive line. So here was Brian Kelly talking about his offensive line after day 1.
You know, Dellinger's at guard. We want to see him at center a little bit. You saw Frazier at guard with Bradford, but, you know, Frazier could play tackle as well. And so we've paired them up on the right side because we think that they're interchangeable. You know, we like the fact that Bradford's got really good feet, but, you know, Frazier's got some length. So as it relates to the specifics of your question, those guys you're going to be center guard combinations right now. But I think it's important that there's some flexibility here for the first 2.5 weeks, and we'll build the starting 5, and then, you know, finding the rotation, you know, where you have, you know, your tackles solidified, the center position, and then I think we've got some really good depth, you know, that's building in this unit. But I think it's going to take a little while for it to kind of pan out over the next couple of weeks.
did you already said want to get tackle solidified, center, and then you sort of figure it out. The thing that stands out most to me about what Brian Kelly said there is probably the omission of Charles Turner. Not to say, by the way, that's not to say Turner isn't involved, isn't up for a job. But when he says they're working Garrett Dellinger at center and guard, they're cross-training Anthony Bradford as well, that kind of tells you they're still unsettled. I would have loved for Brian Kelly to say, hey, look, we thought Charles Turner did awesome in spring. We're starting there with him at center. That didn't happen. If you made me today, gave me a Sharpie and said, okay, you cannot change this pick, anybody on the offensive line, fill it out. The only one I'm putting down is Will Campbell at left tackle. That seems to be universally accepted. And I have some apprehension about that. I think he's going to be spectacular. I think he's going to be an awesome player, as do I think all of you and everyone else. It's still a big ask, asking a true freshman to go be a left tackle game one, snap one of his freshman season. I hope the kid crushes it. I was really hoping that Charles Turner would have established himself at center, but the fact that you're still cross-training guys there tells you you're not settled there. And that's concerning because Brian Kelly told you, he's like, we want to get our tackles and our center, and then you figure out all your rotational pieces, guys that can play inside or out. That's maybe Bradford. That's maybe Dellinger. That's, the other interesting thing, Miles Frazier. Remember, Miles Frazier, coming from FIU, was a freshman All-American at tackle. The fact that they're training him inside tells you that maybe they feel like they have better options at tackle right now than him. Also did not mention Tremont Shorts, who was an FCS All-American. Is he no longer being cross-trained at center? He was one of the 5 guys that they worked at center during the spring. So they're still figuring out a lot there on the offensive line. But, man, I really, really, really would have loved to have heard or would like to hear at some point a solidified center spot. We just talk about it all the time, how important that job is, not only because you're part of the battery with the quarterback that touches the ball every play, but you're also making the calls on the interior of the line. It is so important that they get that sorted out sooner than later. Receiver is also something that we've talked about is an undeniable strength, but you got to have Kayshon Boutte be that dude. First and foremost, number 3, Muse, if it would, here was an update on Kayshon Boutte's health from Brian Kelly.
His player load was pretty high today. It's probably a little bit more than we maybe thought that we wanted for him, but he handled it well, and I expect him to even continue to build on that. So yes and yes to all those things, and excited that he's with us.
Wearing that number 7 jersey. Good to see Kayshon Boutte running around. The cut, though, from Brian Kelly that I think got the most attention was when he was asked about Boutte's potential. Give a listen.
This was my first glimpse at him, quite frankly, and he's an explosive player. He's learning how to practice. Today he was a guy that I had to, remind him a little bit about how to practice the right way. But, he's so committed. He's worked so hard. I'm excited, for him, really, because you can see his potential is one of, can he be the best receiver in the country? I think he can be. But you got to go out and do it. But I just like the fact that he is totally committed to what we're doing and how we're doing it. And now he got a chance to see how we practice for the first time. And, he picked that up today as well.
When Brian Kelly's relationship with Kayshon Boutte has been hot and cold, I think we all understand that. The first thing Brian Kelly ever said when he was asked about him was, I know his last name, right? And then it was, he's a great kid, but we need him to be re-engaged. They go through the offseason. Obviously, Kayshon Boutte stays. He rehabs. He looks fantastic. He gets the number 7 jersey for his practice. You hear Brian Kelly say, I had to remind him how to practice. And I think part of that made a lot of people's antenna go up because they have been sort of hot and cold. But the way Brian Kelly stated at the end, I think sort of maybe add a little more clarity. Y'all, in a very literal sense, Kayshon Boutte has not practiced since October. He got hurt at the beginning of October against Kentucky. Didn't practice the rest of the year. Didn't go through spring. I mean, this is the first time he's been on a practice field, like in a formal practice, under Brian Kelly, and in almost a year. So I think it's natural that he's going to have to learn what the expectation is at practice under Brian Kelly, which is going to be different than what they did under Ed Ogeron and prior. So, but to hear Brian Kelly say he's been so committed, Brian Kelly said he's excited about him. He has the potential to be the best wide receiver in the country. He's explosive. He gushed, he glowed with praise for Kayshon Boutte. And look, we think LSU's wide receiver core is the deepest position on the team. Their numbers there aren't what you'd normally like, but every receiver they have has incredible potential. When you're talking about guys like Brian Thomas and Chris Hilton as your 5 and 6 wide receivers, that's amazing. Normally, you'd like to have 11, 12 scholarship receivers on your roster. You don't necessarily have that, but what you have is amazing talent in the numbers that you do have, and of course, led by Kayshon Boutte. One of those receivers that we mentioned also is Jack Besh. Brian Kelly did run through who is limited in fall camp, and Besh is one of them.
Besh is limited. He's coming back. I think he's making the progress necessary from shin splints, and I think he'll be, available for us in the next couple of days. But he's really the only one that has the kind of limitations. I think Tolan, had the discectomy. He's making great progress. Those would be the two guys that are kind of on a pitch count, if you will, if that's, if I can use that phraseology in terms of they're coming along, but they're not quite there yet, but they made pretty good progress.
So, you don't worry about Jack Besh. I mean, he's going to be fine. Shin splints, he'll get through that. And then Tolan is DeMario Tolan, the freshman linebacker, who, quite honestly, is going to be a little buried on this depth chart anyway at linebacker. So bring him along slowly. One more, and this is where Brian Kelly, it's number 11, Muse, if we could. This is where Brian Kelly mentions the other linebacker. Guys that were not here in spring who stood out day one, give a listen.
We hadn't seen Seven before. Seven Banks, obviously he was out here today in a little bit of a limited fashion. Obviously, having Perkins out here today, you get a flash and see him. I was over watching tackling drills, and, he's got a suddenness to him, that's quite different than some of the other players. So, I think there's a couple of players that kind of flash at you. I like the way Bordelon moves around, athletic. He's a big, strapping kid that moves well. Emory, the local kid from Catholic, Emory Jones, he's a big, physical kid too. So those guys kind of jump out at you a little bit, that they look more than just, the typical, freshman coming in. These guys are physically mature and handle themselves, very well.
A quick thought on the 4 guys that Brian Kelly mentioned. One, Seven Banks, we probably haven't talked about enough, quite honestly. I think we've talked so much about Jark Bernard-Converse, who's gotten a lot of preseason accolades, and then Mekhi Gardner, who is on a lot of people's draft boards and Pro Football Focus. We went through the top 25 cornerbacks in the country. LSU was one of only 2 schools with 2 on the list, and it was Jark Bernard-Converse and Mekhi Gardner. So could Seven Banks find himself as a starter? I mean, I think that certainly is up for grabs when you hear Brian Kelly say that. The 2 offensive linemen, Bordelon and Emory Jones, the future at that position, y'all, as uncertain as it is now, can we all agree, the future at that position is amazing? You're probably going to start a freshman in Will Campbell. Fitzgerald West, is kind of plugging in at center and learning that job, but Emory Jones is ready-made. And Bordelon was one of the lowest rated prospects in the class, but Brian Kelly's a big strapping kid, really athletic. I mean, they got him running at left tackle. There's a lot to like there. And when you look at what's in the pipeline as well, and the possibility always of hitting the transfer portal, I like Brad Davis is a great coach. I like the potential, the future of this line. They're only going to keep getting better and better and better and better, even if it takes them a little while to find their footing here early in camp. But Harold Perkins is the other one. Where Harold Perkins is on the updated roster is at 6'2", 220. I want to say that again. He's at a true freshman linebacker at 6'2", 220. When you hear Brian Kelly say he has a suddenness about him, I mean, it sounds like you're talking about one of the great linebackers that have come through here. If it was Damone Clark a year ago, I mean, you hesitate to use Devin White and Kevin Minter, guys that were All-Americans and you're really good NFL players and won awards. But that's what you expect when you sign a 5-star. You expect him to look like Harold Perkins looks coming in. I have sort of just been under the assumption that the biggest question at linebacker is Baskerville. Baskerville's your only guy with all the skins on the wall, but he also was running 3rd team in spring. clearly he had a lot to prove, if it was in the classroom or whatever, to these coaches. They know he can play at this level. He's just got to prove that he's worthy of the reps right now. So if it's Mike Jones, if it's Greg Penn, who they're very high on, and then Baskerville, that's a pretty good 3 to start. And you brought in Colby Fields from South Carolina. You brought in Wes Weeks from Virginia. And then you've got Perkins and Tolan, who's injured right now. It's plausible to think if Perkins – I'll give you the Kendall Beckwith analogy or the example. Back when Kendall Beckwith was a freshman, they just needed to get him on the field. So they put him on the field in third down, put his hand in the dirt, and say, go get the passer. And when you got into 2014, it was DJ Welter was playing middle linebacker, but it was undeniable that Beckwith was the superior, physically talented. I mean, he's a 5-star. He was incredible. Guy was an All-American. But Welter started the season because they knew Welter was always going to be in the right place. He knew how to get everybody lined up. He was just so solid. But Beckwith had this enormous ceiling. You just weren't sure where, if he was going to have the missed assignments, the mental assignments early in his career. And they got to the point ultimately where they said, forget it, we need the better talent on the field. And they did that. So I'll be interested to see if Perkins follows a similar path. If at some point this year, maybe it's next year, they just look and go, he's just too talented. He's got to be on the field. Put him out there. And in some or what capacity we'll see. So he's wearing number 10. You can't miss him. I mean, he is kind of the freak show that fills out the uniform as a true freshman. So exciting to watch these guys actually get out there. Well, I'll get my first look at him on Monday. No media availability Friday, Saturday, Sunday at practice, but we will get to look at practice Monday morning. So we'll be out there, and we'll get I'll get my first look at the team on Monday, and we'll certainly give you a full recap Monday on the show. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Man, a ton to get to. Saints report from Maddy Hudak in 28 minutes. Ben Nippolt, the VCU baseball transfer, 1 hour from right now. Theriot is going to dial into the show. We also got Tayvion Galloway joining us in hour number 3. That's the 4-star tight end for the class of 2024 out of Ohio, who's committed to LSU. Got so much on the show today. We're just chock full, and glad you're hanging out with us. It's football, y'all. Football season's here. We're ready for it. So glad to have you aboard with us. Don't you move. We'll go around the SEC next on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Schutz Electric, CESofLA.com. It is not too late, y'all. It is not too late to call Schutz Electric and to get that home standby generator installed this storm season. One of the great things about Schutz is last year when Ida hit, and there were so many requests post-Ida for home standby generators, Schutz went and just bought a ton of inventory. So it's not like you're going to be 6 months out like at some places. Schutz has the inventory. The only holdup is you got to get the permits, got to get the power company, the meters, all that stuff, and then get it installed. But Schutz handles all of that. I mean, you could be just a couple of weeks out from having that generator installed and ready to roll at your house. It is affordable. They will always give you a free estimate. They'll come out, they'll take a look, where it is going to be best positioned at your home, what it'll cost. They have great financing options. Don't get left in the dark. Don't get stuck in long lines for gas and ice if the power goes out. If the power goes out at my house, my generator from Schutz Electric comes on and powers the whole house. CESofLA.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside, off the bench, Hunt and Hill, the early line. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste and only 96 calories.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, glad to have you aboard with us here on a Friday edition of AFR. No Theriot today. Theriot's going to call in. He and the family took a last-minute final vacation, so we won't have Theriot for the full 2 hours, but he'll call in with a letter in hour number 3. Joe Burrow is day-to-day right now out at Bengals camp. Zach Taylor said that Burrow is still day-to-day, but is leading some of the meetings right now. You'll probably saw a lot of this if you're on social media, but Joe Burrow is out at Bengals camp, and he had the appendectomy, so he had his appendix removed. But when his teammates are out there running wind sprints, Joe Burrow he's in a cart around practice, but this video has kind of gone viral. Burrow is out there in the cart doing the sprints. So, I mean, he's obviously not sprinting, he's driving, but if you're watching, there's Burrow at the end of the line in the cart, basically doing the sprints with his team. I look at this kind of one of two ways. Part of me is like, if you're Joe Burrow's teammate, would you kind of be pissed that you're running and he's just riding around in a cart? But the very obvious point is he's there with his guys. Dude had an appendectomy and he's still in line going back and forth in a cart, but he's still going back and forth. I don't know. Muse, if you were running, would you be pissed that Burrow's kind of rubbing it in the cart, or would you be impressed that he's riding?
I wouldn't be mad at Joe Burrow. No.
That's the thing. Nobody can be mad at Burrow.
The man
right?
took you to the Super Bowl in a second year. If you're mad at that guy, here's the door.
I know. Nobody can be mad at him. I get it.
Gosh.
But it's almost like, but if you're running, and I guess I'm empathetic because I'm like, I was the big fat guy that hated to run. I'm using an offensive lineman.
Right,
so
fair.
Hated to run, hated the spray. It was terrible. And then there's like a guy who's like, there was always the guy who got overheated or whatever and just would like stand off to the side. It's like,
can of corn and I'll be fine.
Dude, you just wanted to strangle that dude. You know what I mean? But Burrow, I'm kind of like, yeah, man.
It's Joe Shiesty, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Because if he were healthy, he would be out there probably winning every sprint.
Of course.
That's how Joe rolls.
They know that.
I know they do know that, don't they? I think we all know that. Got it reminded me of Tommy Moffitt when Moffitt was here on Tuesday with us. It was so good. You know, I asked him about Joe Burrow. Actually, I have this. Can we play this? I asked him about the 2019 season and about Burrow as a whole. I don't know if this is queued up exactly right, Muse, but go ahead and play it if you would. What do you remember about that day? Or about Joe? Joe's season, the whole thing.
Yeah, so Joe was the man. You know, he was everything.
from the first day that he stepped on campus there till the last day he stepped off campus. He controlled the entire room all the time, and had, you know, it was a huge reason for the success that we had. It was nothing that he couldn't do, and the guys loved him. They respected him. They knew that he was going to go to war for them. He was prepared. I've never seen anyone. The only other guy, I can't say never, the only other guy that I've seen watch more film than he was Peyton Manning. And you could go in the building at all times of the day, and Joe would be watching film. He'd be sitting with Coach Munoz or sitting with Brady or sitting, you know, with Ensminger. And because a lot of people give, you know, Joe Brady all the credit, but there was George Munoz and Ensminger and all these other guys that he sat with at different times in the day and watched film. So he was as prepared as anybody. Yeah, there he is right there.
God,
the man.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Look, so that's what, you know, Tommy Moffitt had to say here. By the way, if you missed the interview with Coach Moffitt, he sat with us for almost an hour on Tuesday. It was an awesome conversation. You can go back and watch, if you go to the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel from Tuesday's AFR, it was hour 2. The podcast is up as well, and I believe we're going to be clipping it this weekend, so you'll see it on the AFR LSU YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed up yet on YouTube, it's the After Further Review LSU YouTube channel. Go hit the subscribe button. You get all that content coming up this weekend. So get well soon to Joey B. All right, it's After Further Review. Do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Auburn Tigers.
Auburn quarterback TJ Finley, we told you yesterday, he was arrested. By now, of course, you know that. But Brian Harsin met with the media and said Finley is expected to practice with the team Friday on the first day of fall camp. Finley turned himself into Auburn police Thursday morning after he was being charged with attempt to elude. Apparently, an Auburn police officer was trying to pull Finley over on his scooter for riding without a helmet, and Finley fled the officer on his scooter and then turned himself in. Finley, one of 4 quarterbacks competing for the job with Zach Calzada, Oregon transfer Robbie Ashford, and 4-star freshman Holden Gerner.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
I mean, maybe it's Griner, but it's spelled G-E-R, or at least maybe it's a typo on G-E-R and I-E-R. Gernier. All right, 4-star offensive tackle Tree Babalde. Dude's nickname is Tree. He committed to South Carolina. And I'm saying Tree because that's way easier than saying Oluwatosin. That's Nigerian. Oluwatosin.
Is there a better nickname for an offensive lineman than Tree?
No.
That's so good.
I'm surprised his last name, though, is Babalde, because one thing I have learned about in Nigeria, a lot of time you have O. First and last name starts with O. So Oluwatosin Babalde is a little odd that it's the last name, but Tree is committed to South Carolina. He picked the Gamecocks over Ohio State, Rutgers, Maryland, and North Carolina. Ranked number 273 nationally, the number 25 offensive tackle for 2023. South Carolina is losing 3 starters after the season along the offensive line, so they have a major reload there. Babalde is the 5th offensive line commitment already for 2023.
The Florida Gators.
Florida baseball got an addition on Thursday. A Rutgers outfielder, Richie Scheikofer. He's entering his final year of eligibility. He'll play down in Gainesville. He played college baseball for the last 5 seasons. Started at Maryland, transferred to Rutgers, sat out 2019 due to transfer years, then COVID, of course, in 2020. He hit 375 at Rutgers in the limited season in 2020. Then last year as a 4th-year sophomore, batted .312, played there in the outfield, and looks to be a starter for the Gators this year.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
And Bama offensive lineman Emil Ikayor told reporters Friday that the Crimson Tide had put up a participation trophy from the college football playoff championship game this past year. It's in the team cafeteria, and it's there to motivate them this season. Of course, in the 8-year history of the college football playoff, Alabama has made the field 7 times and reached the title game 6 times. There you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends Gulf Coast Office Products online at gcopnet.com. gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales, service after the sale. That's what you get at Gulf Coast Office Products. National leader among Savin dealers, but they will service all different makes and models. Gulf Coast Office Products. Speaking of that Alabama participation trophy, Nick Saban did speak about the rebuilding year buzz that sort of hit over the past few days. Let me break. We'll come back. I want to talk about that. And interesting goings on right now in Vegas about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Wait until you hear this. That's coming up. I want to remind you about DraftKings. By the way, if you want to bet those DraftKings, bet those futures on the Bucs, the Saints, you can do it at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Get up to $1,000 risk-free on your first bet. New customers, again, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Bet up to $1,000 risk-free on your first bet at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. NFL futures, college football futures. They've already got week 0 lines posted. If you want to start betting there, you can. Major League Baseball, the second half is in full swing. What more could you possibly want? It's right there at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Remember, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the promo code Baton Rouge. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Availability varies by parish. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions. Licensee partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-7-STOP.
AFR.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off new Ford F-150s. We have new 2021 F-150s on our lot now with $10,000 off MSRP. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor?
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
During his career, Tom Brady has won at least 12 games in the regular season in 14 of his 21 seasons as a starter. So 2/3. They've won at least 12 games. They've gone 12 and, well, it was 12-4, now or better. The Bucs win total this year is 11.5, over/under. History would suggest that Tampa's going to win 12 games. That's what Tom Brady does every year, well, 2/3 of the seasons he's a starter. Yet right now, 87, almost 88% of the tickets have bettors taking the under on the Bucs win total. Now, candidly, whenever I see that much public action in one way, I get spooked and tend to go the other way because Vegas don't make a habit of being wrong. It's a sucker bet. But it does lend some credence and validation to one of our talking points here, which is Tampa's got a lot to prove, y'all. Not only do they have a new head coach, but Gronk is retired. Antonio Brown went AWOL. Chris Godwin did return to practice today, by the way, for Tampa Bay, which is interesting because he suffered that torn ACL against the Saints at the end of the season. So, the assumption has been he's going to miss the start of the season, but practice today, so that's at least interesting. Your entire interior of your offensive line, center, of course, with Jensen's injury, and then both guards. Ali Marpet retired, and you lost one guard to free agency to Cincinnati. You're replacing your entire interior of your offensive line. There's a lot of questions in Tampa this year. A lot. Now, you could look at the division and go, yeah, but the rest of the division stinks. Now, I'm obviously more bullish on the Saints, and you could argue that that's a homer pick. I think there's a lot of reason to believe the Saints will go over their number at 8.5. They were at 9 a year ago, and had more tumult on the roster than any team in literally the history of the NFL. So stay healthy, some stability, and the Saints should be a playoff team again. But, man, if the Saints number's 8.5 and you're feeling over, the Bucs number's 11.5, you're feeling under, Saints could make a push for that division. I'm not ready to predict the Saints to win the division, but I think Tampa, for the first time under Tom Brady, has a whole lot more questions to answer than they have in any of his previous 2 seasons there. It's after further review. Glad to have you aboard with us here. We are going to get you a Saints camp report from Maddy Hudak coming up right after the top of the hour, so less than 10 minutes from right now. Nick Saban made headlines earlier this week when he called last season a rebuilding year. Yes, a year where he had the Heisman Trophy winner, where they made the playoff, won the SEC, and, of course, lost in the national championship game, called it a rebuilding year. Nick was asked about it at his media availability yesterday. Here's what he said.
I don't understand what's so hard to understand when the point being we were young, and we should have 9 starters back on offense and 9 starters back on defense. That's the point I was trying to make. 6 guys went out for the draft, so as we usually have to do, we have lots of rebuilding to do again this season. So that's the point that I was trying to make. So when you have a lot of young players playing, I don't think our standard is like everybody else's standard, but when you have a lot of young players playing, you're actually trying to rebuild so those guys get the kind of experience you need so they can play at the level you need them to play at so you can play to the standard you want to play to.
In some ways, Nick isn't wrong. Their standard is different than everybody else. That's what happens when you've made the playoff every year of its existence but one, of course, the 2019 year when LSU won the national championship. But I also It is also a symptom with Nick that when in a year where they don't win, it's rarely just give praise to the other team that beat you, and it's more of here's why we didn't win. But more than anything, and this was maybe the biggest takeaway from any of the teams at SEC Media Days, the 4 days we were there, it's Alabama's pissed off. They're really pissed off. They feel like they should have won the national title a year ago, and they're out to avenge that loss in the championship game. And I don't know that anybody's getting in the way of that dump truck this year. All right, it's after further review. Quick break. Sports Center gets you caught up on national headlines. When we come back, we get you a Saints camp report. Day 9 down in Metairie. Y'all stick around.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. Again, there are Williamson Eye locations all over the greater Baton Rouge area. Baton Rouge, Zachary, Denham, Gonzales, New Roads, even a location now in Lutcher. Of course, the primary locations in Baton Rouge, 2 of them on Connells Park and then on the Baton Rouge General Campus. Right now, buy one, get one 50% off on eyewear at the Williamson Eye Center. So schedule your eye exams for the whole family before this back-to-school rush gets going. And buy a pair of glasses, get the second pair 50% off at the Williamson Eye Center all this month. And, of course, if you want to ditch the contacts or glasses forever, Dr. Blake Williamson can help. Ask about a refractive procedure that could be best for you. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge. This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says today the sentence given to Brittany Griner in a Russian courtroom compounds the injustice since her arrest almost 6 months ago. With the trial now over, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says Russia is now ready to talk privately about a prisoner swap that could include Griner. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow is still out indefinitely after an appendectomy. Tony Pike from ESPN 1530 in Cincinnati.
He got a full offseason and he's coming off the Super Bowl run. Right now his health is all that matters. So there's no rush to get Joe Burrow back. I think everyone's pretty confident with what Joe Burrow is for this Bengals organization.
Tony Pike on KJ and Max. Head coach Zach Taylor says there's no timetable for Burrow to get back on the field. The University of Michigan officially cuts ties with hockey coach Mel Pearson. An outside investigation uncovered that Pearson pressured players to lie about COVID-19 contact tracing 2 seasons ago and fired a volunteer coach for raising concerns.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Matt, I am sweating. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. LSU baseball picked up a transfer on the infield. Ben Nippolt from VCU. He's going to join us 30 minutes from right now. Theriot out. He'll join us via the phone from wherever he's vacationing 1 hour from right now. Also in hour 3, Tayvion Galloway, 4-star tight end commitment for LSU's class of 2024. He'll be with us in hour number 3. Dennis Allen put a button on day 9 earlier today of Saints camp.
Yeah, solid practice today. Really thought the offense looked pretty good today. Obviously, we got to get back in there and take a look at the tape and kind of see what it looked like on tape. But looked to me, on the field, looked like the offense had a pretty good day. We worked red zone today, so getting a little bit more into some situational football. So that was good to do. We got another day of red zone tomorrow, and before we hit a day off. So overall, thought it was a pretty good practice.
Pretty good practice, and Maddy Hudak was out there covering it for us, and she's good enough to join us right now. Maddy, we appreciate you for jumping back with us. How are you?
I'm good, and I tend to agree with Dennis Allen on the winners of the day.
Offense. So everyone seems today to be talking about Mike Thomas. What can you tell us about how Thomas seems to be rounding into form, maybe?
Well, everyone has been talking about, Paulson Adebo pretty much all of camp thus far. And, he went 3 of 1 in his reps yesterday. Michael Thomas comes out there and, back-to-back plays on Paulson Adebo absolutely bested him with just really quick separation on an out route and then an in route and really kind of opening up that third level of the field in much deeper routes than we've seen from him so far. He also had a touchdown reception from Andy Dalton and another really solid reception from Winston in 7-on-7 drills.
Can you tell if there's anything at all limiting Michael Thomas, like other than just Michael Thomas right now?
Yeah, so I watched him doing cuts in individual drills before doing the one-on-ones, and looking at Michael Thomas, it looks like his ankles might be just a tad stiff, but that being said, he still looks better than the average receiver by far. And I think if you didn't know, how sharp he really is, you would not even notice. He looks pretty much, back to normal all things considered.
Maddy, you also mentioned Andy Dalton and all the camp reports. I haven't asked. I mean, because the backup quarterback is, I mean, it's so strange, Maddy. We haven't even had a ton of conversations about Jameis, which coming off a torn ACL, you would think we would be talking a ton about. There's just so many storylines. Any observations at all watching Andy Dalton out there?
Yeah, it's kind of a good point. I almost haven't paid attention to quarterback at all, which is kind of a good sign.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton looks like, a true veteran out there. He's able to execute and get the ball where it needs to be. He, isn't noticeably doing anything great. That being said, I think it's helpful to just kind of have that consistency and, stark contrast from what was really inconsistent in the quarterback competition last season.
She's on Twitter at Maddy Hudak _94. I think I got to spell it, Maddy, because so many people tweeted yesterday. Like, what are you saying, Matty or Matt? Like, is it Hudat? Or all right,
Just like Starbucks.
MADDY. What do they get you at? What do they get you at Starbucks? Like, what's on your cup every time?
I'm always the boy version with MATTIE without fail.
Oh God, that's the boy version? Is See, I would think MATTY. No, I guess there is an MATTIE.
I think it's the T more than anything else.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, she's MADDY HUDAK. Maddy Hudak _94. Go give her a follow in the show tweet. She's tagged in there, so go give her a follow. Hey, I want to flip over to the defensive side of the ball. Yesterday, we did talk about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson kind of having his hold out, hold in sort of thing, limiting reps. And today we saw a little bit of a change there in the slot. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Justin Evans, who was signed kind of to play safety, and more so in that kind of split safety look that Dennis Allen envisions, which that's also something to, take note of, is kind of the rotating shell they have back there. But Justin Evans really, primarily benefited. Dennis Allen had said, how DJ's absence kind of helps the other players fight and kind of prove themselves. And I thought Justin Evans did really well in that aspect today. He got a lot of individual coaching from Chris Richard, who did a lot of that last year, and you could tell it made a difference in immediate reps. He would go out for one, get some coaching on the sideline, and come back in, was a lot tighter in his coverage, really quick and initial reactions off the line of scrimmage. And for losing Malcolm Jenkins and Marcus Williams and not having CJ Gardner-Johnson out there, the secondary has just been really impressive, especially also with Marshawn Lattimore not being there today. Bradley Roby fills in fine for him. Just everyone really playing strong back there.
Was this just a day off for Lattimore?
So he left early yesterday's practice with the trainer. It didn't look like anything serious, but we didn't see him today. Marcus May wasn't out there either, but it kind of seemed like there could be some rest days going on. So that's kind of all that we know at this point.
Okay. And any other notable absences, guys that weren't there?
I don't think anyone else was really noticeable.
Okay.
There were a couple people. Taysom Hill, who was still kind of in the corner working on stuff, so he's out there. Marcus Davenport's still not there, and then other than that, it's just kind of names that haven't been there the last few days.
We also saw, Maddy, that just sticking in the secondary, the Saints did put Smoke Monday on IR. That looks like that's going to be a long-term deal there. Have you given any thought yet to how many spots in the secondary how many players are going to keep, or who really right now looks like they're on that cut line that's fighting for a job that's maybe impressing right now?
Gosh, it's really hard to say because they're either, playing really well or you don't really think much about them. I think JT Gray has really made an impressive presence for himself, and the same thing with Bryce Thompson. And I think it's less so bad play by others and more so that play, really good play is pushing other guys out. Daniel Sorensen seems kind of like the odd man out to me.
Yeah.
And Vincent Gray kind of seems like more of a camp body. And just kind of based on how they've been, running things today, even with injuries, it's telling to me that Roby is slotted in for Marshawn Lattimore. And then Alontae Taylor is playing behind Roby, and that there's seemingly kind of these defined roles for these guys, except for PJ Williams, Justin Evans, and Marcus May. And that might actually be the point with how versatile they kind of seemed, rotating post-snap.
It's like, I hear you run through all the names, Maddy, and I'm like, who are you going to cut? All these guys are going to make the team. I mean, Sorensen, the way you spell it out, I think probably is the odd man out there, which is an interesting transition to Kiko Alonso. So what's going on there? Is this just camp body? Is this depth? Does he actually have a shot to make the team?
I think there's definitely a shot. You kind of think about the depth behind Pete Werner and Demario Davis. You know, I'm still holding my breath for the day Demario Davis ever misses a game, but it's, you know, something to obviously keep thinking about. I had kind of seen that Quan Alexander had talked with New Orleans about coming back, but it was more for a backup role. And so I think he thought he had the chance to start in New York. But I think that's kind of what they're looking for, is just kind of depth behind probably Pete Werner, who he has an elbow brace on, and he was kind of absent earlier on in camp. I just think there's enough reason for thinking he would at least miss a game or two. And I think Hayden Ellis is kind of that strong depth there, and same with Andrew Dowell. But, you know, Zach Vaughn, this is his year 3. I've kind of been waiting for something from him, and he's still kind of lost in the shuffle to me. So I really think, like, him and Alonso are kind of battling for that, you know, playing time at this point. And Alonso took a lot of first-team reps today.
Maddy Hudak is with us. A couple more. You said something there about Bond being in year 3, and I don't know if you and I haven't talked about this off air, but I'm just curious if you have a thought. Bond, Cesar Ruiz, Troutman, all these guys that were drafted in the COVID year, it almost feels like maybe you kind of, because they've all kind of had the same struggles, maybe we give them a mulligan for that first year in 2020. Like, they don't feel like as far along as you'd expect a third-year player at this point who's looking for that second contract, right? I mean, do you have a thought on those guys, maybe how the COVID year impacted their development early in that first year?
Well, yeah. I mean, the fact that there was no rookie OTAs in minicamp that year, and then you really point out that all 3 of those came from the same class and had kind of a similar struggle heading into things. And all 3 of them kind of struggled last year to me too, just for different reasons. I actually think Adam Trotman has a lot of promise in that group. He looked stronger today, and I still kind of hold the belief that a player out of Dayton that didn't take that many snaps in college, his intention in year 2 really wasn't to become a pillar of the starting offense. So I think you'll kind of see almost his year 2 this year. And Cesar Ruiz, to be fair, has looked really strong through training camp. So it just could be the thing that they are a little stunted, and I would kind of agree with you on that. It's hard to ignore that they all come from 2020. They all missed that kind of rookie initiation. And just knowing how important coaching is in New Orleans and how strong their coaching staff is, losing that time, I think, really does make a difference in New Orleans and other places.
She is Maddy Hudak. Saints on the practice field today. Day 9 of camp. They'll practice tomorrow, as you heard Dennis Allen say, and then have a day off. Follow her on Twitter at Maddy Hudak _94. Great work, Maddy. We appreciate it. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Thank you. See you then.
All right. Be well. All right. It's after further review. That's, until she mentioned Bond, we did have this conversation about Ruiz, didn't we, earlier in the week? Let me break. I want to stay on time. Let me break. I got to grab a break, come back out. I'll finish that thought. And at the bottom of this hour, in 17 minutes, Ben Nippolt is going to join us. He is an infielder from VCU who just yesterday announced he's transferring to LSU. So he's going to join us in 17 minutes. Don't move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. 28 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings. Find your favorite flavor. Maybe even it's one of the new flavors. It's at Pluckers. Create your own. They actually love creativity on the menu. Like, you can come up with your own wing sauce if you want to. Combine different things. The world is your oyster at Pluckers, or your breaded chicken. Pluckers, Nicholson, just south of campus. Bluebonnet, right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Dine and carry out or delivery. If you want to eat at home tonight, punch up the Uber Eats or DoorDash app. Have your Pluckers wings delivered to you tonight. But, man, it's always a great night to get by Pluckers. Last night was the first preseason game, the Hall of Fame game. You got a full slate of Major League Baseball tonight all weekend long. You got the preseason getting a full slate of preseason next week. It's almost here, y'all. Great opportunity to get by Pluckers. Something going on every night of the week, so get on by and enjoy award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, and sports on TV. Pluckers, if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Kids have staked out their place at Ochsner Medical Complex The Grove, where more than 30 pediatricians and pediatric specialists are all conveniently located under one roof, so you can spend less time driving and more time keeping your kids well. Yes! It's no wonder kids call dibs at The Grove. Ochsner Health Center for Children.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Keep your hands to yourself.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Oh, well, we hit 1 million views. How about that, Muse? Pretty
cool.
Old Thabob making a sexually inappropriate joke about a bottle of whiskey. Flip that into a TikTok, and it hit 1 million views earlier today. Whatever.
It's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. I
mean, at least all the sexual jokes T-Bob's making, at least this one did something good.
One finally landed.
Yeah.
And you know, the interesting thing, too, is, I mean, I'm not hiding it. I don't post these videos with the intent that they're going to get 1 million views.
Right.
It's just repurposing our content. Two things. If you haven't seen it yet, you can go onto my TikTok or my Instagram, just at Matt Moscona, Moscona. T-Bob made a joke during Whiskey and Wine, during Scone and Tea on Wednesday at Oliver Twist. I clipped it, the reaction, all whatever. I guess it just pieced together well, and the TikTok algorithm did what it did. It's been viewed 1 million times now. Actually, all the metrics on it. Let's see. Tell me, 160,000 likes, 704 comments. I guess it's been shared more than 8,000 times. Whatever. But if you watch the clip, you can hear there's a woman sneeze in the clip, and the sneeze happens a couple of times because we obviously, you know this, you produce the show.
Right.
it's a single camera. It's a 2-shot. So it's one camera straight on, and it's me and T-Bob. Well, TikTok is vertical video. So I have to cut the video to get him and then me. So, like, I got his reaction and my reaction, and then had to splice it together. And so there's people, and they're like, oh, they extended the pause to make it seem dramatic. Look, they clipped the video. You can hear the woman sneeze. I'm like, no, it was a long pause. But the reason you hear the woman sneeze twice is because I had to get both of our reaction, because it's a vertical video. It's a single shot show. People just can't enjoy things.
No, the internet can't just love anything. They always have to try to point out what's wrong with it.
And by the way, if you're interested, I would say I don't know why you would be, but 1 million people have now watched this, have watched this stupid video. T-Bob tried to land the same joke earlier in the show. So if you go back to Scone and T from Wednesday, so if you go to the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, find Scone and T. Some of you are watching on YouTube right now. Just go find Scone and T from Wednesday of this week. So if you go to the channel, just scroll down like 2 days. At about the 16-minute mark, he tried to land the same joke earlier in the show. So when he did it the second time, I knew, when I said, because I said this is 17-year juice, he goes, what happens when it turns 18? I knew where he was going. I 100% knew he was trying to land the joke again. And so I say, well, it might be okier, literally answering the question, trying to distract him from doing the joke that he's going to do. But I guess he landed it the second time.
Clearly
he did. Anyway. So if you want, it's on my TikTok or my Instagram if you want to go check it out at Matt Moscona. I just don't get it. Like, I post stupid clips of him every week from Scone and T.
Why that one?
It's that same dynamic. It's him saying something stupid and me just staring at him. Like, the dramatic pause to let the stupidity marinate. And I have no idea why that one hit, but it did. So if you're interested, you can go watch it. Okay. Thanks to Maddy Hudak. Maddy is credentialed for us with the Saints this camp, so she's going to be doing our Saints camp reports and giving us videos and other content for our social media platforms on the 104.5 ESPN channel. So we appreciate Maddy for being with us. And we were talking about the 2020 draft. The Saints 2020 draft was Cesar Ruiz, Zach Bond, Adam Troutman, Tommy Stevens. That was the whole draft. Stevens, of course, was a joke that they went back in. I mean, that was just Sean Payton getting pissed off at Joe Brady. I went back and looked at the whole 2020 draft, and there's obviously hits in that draft. There was Joe Burrow, there was Justin Herbert, there was Justin Jefferson. I mean, there's some dudes, Patrick Queen, there's some dudes in that draft. But I also look and I go, man, I really think that maybe the Saints just whiffed on the whole draft. Maybe 2020 is the next version of 2014, which was Brandon Cooks, Stanley Jean-Baptiste, Kyrie Ford, Vinny Cincinnati, Ronald Powell, Tayvion Rooks. They swung and missed on everybody. Brandon Cooks obviously became a good player, but they traded him, and we know what happened. Ultimately, they parlayed that pick into Ryan Ramczyk, so that worked out. But the rest of that draft was an abomination. Sometimes you just miss. And maybe that's 2020, but I think this is going to be the telltale year. All those guys came in, and situationally it matters, right? Ruiz is a guy who was a center who you asked to change positions. Bond is a guy who was kind of an edge rusher at Wisconsin who you were trying to make into a stand-up linebacker. Troutman's a tight end that came from a small school in Dayton making a big leap to the NFL. None of those guys had the benefit of rookie minicamp or OTAs or any of the offseason work. And such a disjointed rookie season, I almost kind of feel inclined with the benefit of hindsight now to say I can kind of flush that first year and look at this really as year 2 for them. And all three of those guys just have so much on the line right now because you want to get to that second contract. I mean, it's the way the NFL is structured now. Rookie deals are capped. It's all about getting to your second contract when you cash in. All of those guys right now are entering year 3. And this is the time for them to blow up so they can get that contract before they go into year 4. because you don't want to hit free agency when they'll all be eligible for it. So big season for all of those guys. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Weekends here, you want to go test drive one, get to Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland. You can always shop them at southpointvw.com. New or certified pre-owned. Look up all the dealer specials that they have. You can even work out financing online at southpointvw.com. southpointvw.com. Even if you live outside of Baton Rouge, sometimes it's worth a drive. They can get you the best deal possible. That's South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? Okay, Ben Nippolt, the LSU baseball transfer, he's going to join us here in less than 5 minutes. Brian Kelly did meet with reporters after practice yesterday. We'll get to talk to 4 players after practice today, including Keishon Butte and Jaquelin Roy, along with Mike Jones. That'll be fun to hear from those guys after day 2 of practice. But Brian Kelly did also after practice yesterday, when he was asked sort of about the depth chart, he was very non-committal about this team right now.
I stand here in front of you feeling pretty good about the players that we've put together in a very short order that can go out and play at a high level in the SEC. But the fact of the matter remains, we got to figure out who those guys are. And so we're going to go through camp and have to make some tough decisions and quite frankly, rely on evaluations in camp to do that. And that's a little bit different in my years. Generally, we've had guys kind of, everyone says the depth chart, it's always open, but you always have a guy penciled in somewhere. There's not a lot of penciling in yet. So yes, to your questions, there's some work to be done.
I very much respect and appreciate the candor and the honesty. And that answer, what Brian Kelly just gave, is what we've said here about quarterback. Generally, you have an idea, you got somebody penciled in, there's nobody penciled in. And I think that's true not just at quarterback, but clearly on the offensive line. I think you got the linebacker spots are certainly open, and I'm fairly confident in saying Jark Bernard-Converse is going to start at one corner. Is it Sevyn Banks? Is it Mekhi Gardner? Is one of those guys, a slot cornerback? A lot of that has to be figured out, and I'd say the same at safety. You got Brooks Fouché, but you return Jay Ward. You've got a phenomenal player in Sage Ryan, who was a 5-star, who was injured, missed half of last year, but is he ready to pop off? I mean, you've got Major Burns comes back from injury. You've still got a lot to determine here in camp before you hit the field against Florida State on September the 4th, that Sunday in the Superdome. Okay, a quick break. We'll come back. Ben Nippolt, LSU baseball's latest transfer, Jay Johnson. It's always good to have a safety net, and Jay Johnson apparently had his. We'll talk to Ben Nippolt next on AFR.
AFR.
Better coverage for less money. I say it every single day. Better coverage for less money. Really think about it. Better coverage for less money. We all have to pay for insurance, and too often, too many of us are overpaying and underinsured. When was the last time you actually thought about if you have enough insurance coverage or if you're paying a fair price? When was the last time you shopped or had someone shop to check a rate? Let today be that day. Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net. Here's one that Jay sent me, an AFR listener named Russell. Had been with Liberty Mutual for 6 years. They saved him $2,400, $2,405 to be exact, annually on his coverage, and reduced his hurricane deductible from $5,200 to a flat $1,000 deductible. Better coverage for less money. You could be next. 293-0450, 293-0450, or online, lainsurance.net.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off new Ford F-150s. We have new 2021 F-150s on our lot now with $10,000 off MSRP. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Vizzy, the first hard seltzer with antioxidant vitamin C. It just hits different. Vizzy.
Failure happens to us all. But it's our champion.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, Jay Johnson said I needed a little depth on the infield, and he got it on Thursday. Ben Nippolt transferring to LSU from VCU, where he played a season ago, and Ben's good enough to join us here for a couple of minutes on AFR. Ben, we appreciate the time, man. Thanks so much. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Doing awesome. Let's start with kind of a little bit of an obvious one, which is the timeline here. When did LSU or Coach Johnson first reach out to you about the possibility of being a Tiger?
Yeah, so I was in the portal for a couple weeks, and he actually ended up following me on Twitter one night, and I didn't know what to make of it really, but he sent me a DM. We connected the next day on a phone call, and he kind of told me, like, if things go the way we think they might, we're gonna call you back and get things rolling, and it obviously did. So I was super grateful for that, and yeah, love him.
It's that is a very Jay Johnson thing to do. Jack Pineda, who's a Baylor shortstop who got drafted and went to the pros, was on the show, and he said he found out he was in the portal, that his name had populated because Jay called it. It's like, yeah. he's a pretty on top of it type of dude. Okay, so like was LSU always your front runner? Or did you have other options?
I'd been talking to some other schools. When I got on the phone with him, it was kind of like, all right, this is the place I want to go. Obviously, if things work out, but yeah, like I said, LSU, the brand of LSU, it's just like it was a matter of hearing out what he needed, his needs, and obviously I came down to visit just to get in front of him and all that. So once I got to know him a little bit, it was definitely the front runner. It was a pretty easy decision.
You're a Midwestern guy, right? You're from Minnesota, is that right?
Yes, sir.
So from Minnesota, you played JUCO in Iowa, and then we're at VCU. It's interesting to hear people, because look, we live it every day, but it's interesting to hear from people who aren't from here and sort of in this ecosystem or this culture about the perception of LSU. So you kind of talked about it. I'd ask you maybe to elaborate a little bit about the brand of LSU. How are you aware of LSU? How familiar are you with LSU and their history?
Yeah, I mean, very familiar, honestly. I mean, you grew up watching LSU football, like playing bowl games, and it's a pretty special place down there. Obviously, baseball, you grew up playing baseball, and LSU is the place to go. It's the place you want to be, right? So, yeah, I mean, like I said, once I got down there for my visit a couple of days ago, you could feel it. The energy is a little bit different down there in Baton Rouge, which is definitely cool. I'm looking forward to getting down there a little bit more and getting started.
Oh, baseball matters here, man, for sure. We were showing the picture that you tweeted and is on your Instagram as well. By the way, you can follow Ben. He's at bnips6 on Twitter, and you can follow him, Ben Nippolt, Nippolt, on Instagram as well. So clearly, you visited. Is that your dad in the picture as well? Who's in the picture?
No,
I'm looking at the picture. Hang on, let me see. Who's in the picture with you? Who's in the picture that you tweeted?
Oh, that's Coach Jordan. And Coach
Jordan.
Johnson.
Okay, there you go. I'm looking at it now. Okay.
Yep.
So what was so you were here just a couple days ago. What was the experience like?
It was unbelievable. First class, to be honest with you. Like, it was one of those things where I didn't really have to come to visit LSU because I already knew what it was going to be like, right? Like, I knew everything there was going to be unbelievable. But my main reason for wanting to come down was getting in front of Coach Johnson, kind of getting with him face to face and getting a feel for him. And I left feeling very reassured of what I already had in my head. So that was pretty special, and it made my decision a lot easier.
Ben, let's talk a little bit about the on-field stuff, obviously. I mean, I can look at your bio and see certain things. I mean, you've played all over the infield. Where are you most comfortable?
I think my position's always been second base. I filled some holes with some injuries at VCU this past year and ended up moving to third, but I think I profile as a second baseman, and I'm pretty comfortable there.
Okay, so I see 34 games at third base last year, but you also played second and short. So primarily a second base. Are you comfortable on the left side of the infield?
Yeah, I got very comfortable there. It was a little bit of a transition period, I'd say, because third base is a whole different animal.
Mm-hmm.
But once I got comfortable over there, it was a lot of fun. It's just infield is infield, and I like playing defense.
Did Jay talk to you about that role? Like, did he tell you, hey, we're going to bring you in here to play second?
Second was mostly the conversation that we had, but obviously maybe a little bit third, maybe emergency shortstop type deal, but second was pretty much the main focus of what we talked about.
Let's talk a little bit about the bat as well. I mean, you hit 308 last year. How would you describe yourself as a hitter? What's your profile as a hitter?
Yeah, definitely. I don't love talking about myself like this, but I'd say personally, like on the offensive side, I'm not a guy who really prides myself on hitting home runs. That's never been my thing. I think the thing that I bring to lineups that I've been in the past is just the ability to get on base, like have that feel for the strike zone, take walks, hit some balls in the gap, and just get on base, and give guys the ability to drive me in.
Yeah, I think Dylan Cruz and Tommy White, they'll be more than adequate at driving you in. You get on base, brother. Like, they'll take care of the rest. It's a pretty good strategy. Have you gotten to know, like, did you get to talk to any of those guys or meet any of your teammates when you were here?
I got to meet some of the freshmen when they were down there because obviously they're on campus already getting things rolling, but I didn't get to meet any of the returners. So it was just a lot of conversations with the freshmen who are already there.
Okay, because I know a lot of times Gavin Dugas is the guy that'll kind of be like the host for a lot of guys on campus. Did you have a host when you were here, or was it just with Jay?
It was just me, Jay, and Coach Jordan going around campus.
Got it.
Yep.
So what's the timeline like for you? I mean, I presume you'll be here to start the fall semester.
Yep.
Man, so how quickly does that turn around? Like, walk me through this. So you're back home now in Minnesota?
Yes, sir.
So you're in Minnesota. When do you come back to Baton Rouge?
So I'm not sure on the exact time frame. I'm trying to get down there in the next week or so. Obviously, all my stuff is still in Richmond, Virginia, where VCU is. So I gotta get out there. My car's out there, and then make the drive down to Baton Rouge. But I want to get down there as soon as possible because it was a special place, and I'm looking forward to getting back down there.
Ben, I got great news, like really phenomenal news. You can leave your parka, your snow boots, the ice scraper for your windshield. You can leave it all. And where's home? Where in Minnesota?
St. Paul.
or you're in St. Paul, so you're in the Twin Cities, you can leave it all there. Like, because
that is good news.
You will not need it. I mean, there's probably going to be like 2 weeks in February where you're like, man, this is actually a little chilly, but the rest of the time, you're just probably going to sweat your ass off. So, but it's a good trade-off, man. It's a good trade-off.
Oh, yeah. Baseball weather.
Oh, it's always baseball weather here, man. Hey, good stuff. Congrats on joining the Tigers. Excited to see you down here, man. Safe travels all around the country, getting your stuff, and get down here, man. We'll look forward to seeing you in the purple and gold.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all having me on.
It's our pleasure. Ben Nippolt, Nippolt. If you want to go search him on Instagram, give him a follow on Twitter as well, at bnips6, at bnips6 on Twitter if you want to give Ben a follow there. Jay Johnson obviously needed a backup plan. They thought they were going to have Carter Young here. They signed Young and Pineda. Both of those guys end up getting drafted and signing. And Young was the surprise. Last Friday, Carter, LSU had the release where they announced the transfers. When they got Paul Skeens and everyone was sky high, and they announced Young. So Young had given them assurances that he was coming, he wasn't signing, and then at the deadline last Monday, clearly Baltimore came back and offered Carter Young $1.35. I mean, they gave him top 50 money. Which, if you're Carter Young, you come to LSU hoping to increase your stock to be a top 50 guy to get a 7-figure signing bonus. And the Orioles gave it to him in round 17. So Jay clearly had a backup plan. I mean, he was ready. So swooped in there and got Ben Nippolt on campus this week. He said he was here just 2 days ago and ultimately committed to LSU. So if you're just sort of piecing it together, a lot of this makes sense now, where you'd have Trey Morgan or Tommy White at first base, however that'll go. Ben said he's a second baseman primarily, so you put him at second. And then Thompson and Guidry are the left side of your infield. And however they'll go compete, the best guy will play short, the other will play third. Maybe that's Guidry at short, Thompson at third, however they make it work. But that's likely the left side of your infield now. And we know that Tommy White can play some third. I've been told that they're going to sort of cross-train Gavin Dugas at second, try to get him a lot of reps there to add some depth on that infield. You can play White, Morgan, Skeens all at first base, so you got options. I know we've talked about it. A lot of you don't like to hear it, but Jay Johnson has said it as well, that you're going to see likely Trey Morgan play some left field this year. So off we go, man. Jay needed a solution, some depth on the infield, and he got it. A kid who's clearly a very selfless, team-centered offensive player as well. He hit 2 home runs last year. He's not trying to hit the ball over the fence or wow anybody with his power numbers. His job is to get on base if someone else can knock him in. And this is the lineup where, if you're that guy, you're going to have plenty of opportunities to score runs. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com, 288-8138, 288-8138. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Yes, not just windows, but doors and siding. And when it comes to siding, it's hardy plank and vinyl siding. Check it out at reliefwindows.com or go check out the all-new Relief Windows showroom, which is now open on Airline Highway in Prairieville. Just this week, Relief Windows did debut their newly redesigned website. So if you'd like to check it out, just go to reliefwindows.com, reliefwindows.com, and you can see all of the great products that they have to offer from the windows, the doors, and the siding. But remember with the siding, y'all, hardy plank or vinyl siding, you can transform your home and make it pop and look essentially brand new in 2 weeks' time. And at Relief Windows, I always say experience, quality, service. That quality, they own old school, hammer, nail. No industrial stapling, which a lot of companies do with siding. Not Relief Windows. They will nail into the stud for supreme durability. Brandon told me this week they had so many examples of camps and homes from Ida last year where theirs weren't damaged because they hand-nailed their siding into the studs. It's Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows, and reliefwindows.com. All right, it's After Further Review, y'all. Quick break. Theriot will be with us here in 15 minutes via the phone. The Theriots are taking a last-minute little family vacation. And Tayvion Galloway next hour as well. 4-star 2024 tight end. So he's a rising junior, committed to LSU in July. Part of that that big recruiting run that LSU went on. And he has been one of LSU's biggest supporters, biggest advocates on social media among their committed players, advocating for more signees. So we'll talk to Tayvion Galloway 30 minutes from right now. Glad you're here. Don't you move. We'll wrap up hour number 2. Muso will have Tigers and the Pros next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Weekend is upon us if you're going to be getting out into the yard, if the weather cooperates. You want to get out in the garden, plant some flowers, maybe add those privacy shrubs, or you got some honeydews that you need to do around the yard. Remember, Clegg's Nursery has got you covered. I should tell you more. Probably don't tell you enough about the Spartan Mosquito Eradicator. It's a time of year where everybody likes to be outside. You catch some shade, you have a cold beer, a glass of lemonade, whatever it may be. Maybe you're out by the pool. But mosquitoes are always such a problem. Not if you have a Spartan Mosquito Eradicator. Go to Clegg's Nursery, pick up a Spartan Mosquito Eradicator. Look, you pop off the top, you fill up to the water line, you shake it up, you hang it on your property line, you're done with mosquitoes 90 days at a time. It's at Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations: Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Of course, you can get on by Don Juan Cigar Bar this weekend. I did confirm with my buddy Clay Young. We will be at Don Juan Cigar Bar for whiskey and wine after the Florida State game. The only question was because that is a Sunday. It's a Sunday night game, and usually Don Juan is closed. I believe, I don't want to say the hour and get it wrong, but usually by the time that that LSU game would be over, they'd be closed on a Sunday night, but they will be open for us to do whiskey and wine. So make plans if you're not heading down to New Orleans and you're looking for something to do, a place to watch the game or hang out after. T-Bob and I will be at Don Juan on Labor Day weekend, that Sunday, after LSU beats Florida State. All right, Theriot in 10 minutes right now. Muso. Tigers in the pro.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
You watched the Hall of Fame game last night.
I did.
You heard the name of a lot of former Tigers.
I did.
Let's start with Arden Key because he had the best game of all of them. Arden Key in there to start for the Jaguars, recorded 2 tackles, both of them solo, both of them were quarterback sacks. Good way to make a statement. Caleb Von Chason kind of teamed up with him on a couple, but did not record an official stat in the game.
Yeah, I was surprised because on the call they did say Key and Chason, but officially Chason did not have a stat.
He did not have a stat in the game, no.
He was going to be a sack stealer.
Yes.
And
yes.
Arden Key said, gave him the finger wag.
The Matumbo?
The Matumbo.
Matumbo. Tayshawn Bauer, 2 tackles on the night. Both of those solo, and one of those that came for a loss for the Raiders. Neil Farrell Jr. as well got some action for the Vegas Raiders, recording 2 tackles of his own, one of them solo. And then the last guy you heard his name mentioned is actually the first guy whose name was mentioned, and that's Foster Moreau. Oh, God, I did it. Foster Moreau. I slipped into the trap.
Did you go Moreau?
I did.
Foster
he had his
Moreau.
name mispronounced last night, too, and a catch for 10 yards.
Foster Moreau.
Foster Moreau.
How about Tyron Johnson?
I saw that.
He was.
Do we count Tyron Johnson, though?
No. Okay. But he was still interesting. Tyron Johnson, if you don't remember, was a 5-star out of Warren Easton, signed with LSU, transferred to Oklahoma State, became a really good receiver there. They threw at him like every damn play. I mean, there was no Devontae
5
Adams.
targets.
I mean, he was he had 2 catches, but they were just like solely focused on him early in that ballgame. Anyway.
To baseball, Austin Nola last night. Man, we're struggling right now on Friday. 3 for 3. How about your guy?
I get it.
3 for 3.
4:52
on
a Friday.
It's Friday. We have 1 hour left. That's what it is.
The weekend started a little right.
No, not at all.
The drill,
Run scored for Nola as well to go with the 3 singles and an RBI and a walk. So your boy was on base 4 times.
How about it? That's how we do it at Kalahai.
Well, he's in San Diego. He's in Slam Diego now.
Doesn't matter.
Or Juan Diego, if you want to call it that.
Look, Kalahai never leaves you, Muse.
Okay.
You take it with you everywhere you go. It's more than 4. It's a lifetime.
Yeah,
more than 4.
Okay.
It's a lifetime. There, Mussolini.
Got T-shirts that say that?
I don't know if they have T-shirts.
Oh, they need T-shirts that say that.
I think they put it on like promotional material, all
bumper
that sort
sticker.
of stuff.
That'd be good.
I don't know if they have bumper stickers, but more than 4. It's more than 4. It's a lifetime.
1 for 4, Alex Bregman last night with a run scored and also drew a walk. Alex Lang, a bit of a rough one for Lang, man. The second half's kind of getting our guy a little bit. 1 inning, 1 hit, and an earned run given up. Walked 2 and struck out 3. Took him 28 pitches to get through the frame, and he already had 3.24.
Struck out the side.
He did strike out the side. But second half hadn't been as kind to our guys the first half. He'll get back on track, though, of that I'm certain. And how about a little bit of golf for you, Matt, here to wrap it up? No, this is the LPGA Tour, where we go to the AIG Women's Open, and we find Madeline Sagstrom tied for second place after a 6-under second round where she recorded 8 birdies.
Wow.
2 bogeys, but 8 birdies. She finished tied for second in this event last year, heading to the weekend just 1 shot back of the lead.
How about Curtis Thompson?
Do you really want to know? Are you going to accuse me of only doing this when he plays badly?
Is he a former Tiger?
He is.
Is he a pro?
Yes.
Is he competing in a professional event?
He is.
So because you hate him, you're not going to mention it?
Because you're just going to – you only do this when he's not doing well. That's not true. He's 1 over par, tied for 103rd at the Wyndham Championship.
You know
He's
what,
got some
Muse?
work to do, but he's making the weekend, and that counts.
You know what, Muse?
Shot 4 under today.
That's right. You didn't think it was worth mentioning that he shot 4 under today?
I just did. What are you talking about?
You weren't gonna.
I did it unsolicited.
You weren't gonna until I had to say, hey, what about Curtis Thompson? Never want to say when he does something good, Muse, I tell you. I don't get it. I don't
He's
know.
in 103rd.
What did Curtis Thompson do to you
Nothing.
in another lifetime?
I've never met Curtis Thompson.
How did he hurt you?
Nothing. I like him. I'm a fan.
You have a strange way of showing your fandom there, Muse.
That's Tigers of the Press.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com. That's LMFJ.com. 2 locations in BR, Corporate and Bocage, and in the Mall of Louisiana, but 9 in all. New Orleans, Lafayette, Lake Charles, up in North Louisiana as well. Find the location nearest you. Learn more about the beautiful diamonds and how Lee Michaels has helped Baton Rouge and all of Louisiana get engaged for 40 years. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, Theriot coming up right after the top of the hour.
AFR.
Wrapping up hour number 2, we're brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com. Michelli.com. If you weigh or measure something they sell, service, and rent the products you use to weigh and measure, Michelli, 2 things primarily I want to touch on today. Number 1, of course, it's about efficiency. So many people, especially during COVID, you're packing up your devices to be calibrated, shipping them off to calibration labs in other states. Things are taking weeks, months even. Things that should take 7 to 10 days. Call Michelli. They're local. They'll come to your office, your lab, pick up the device, bring it back to their lab, calibrate it, and then deliver it to you. Or they even can calibrate on site if you need that. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com, Michelli.com, and they are hiring at their New Orleans Harahan office, the Baton Rouge office, and also in Lake Charles. Learn more at Michelli.com. Hit the careers tab there at the top of the page to learn more. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. Dodgers lefty Clayton Kershaw goes on the injured list with lower back pain. Kershaw had to leave his start against the Giants on Thursday. The Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says today Russia is ready to talk privately about a prisoner swap that could include Phoenix Mercury center Brittany Griner. With Deshaun Watson's 6-game suspension now under appeal by the NFL, ESPN's Jeff Darlington says Watson may be able to start in the season opener, referring back to Ezekiel Elliott's appeal in 2017.
Ultimately, it was not until, I think, October 17th that he withdrew his appeal and started to serve a suspension. So it is very possible, is my point here, that Deshaun Watson could still be under center week 1 for the Cleveland Browns if this does go through the legal system.
Jeff Darlington on KJ and Max. Cardinals running backs coach James Saxon goes on paid administrative leave while he waits for a court date on domestic battery charges. He faces 2 counts from an incident in Indianapolis back in May.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. If you're a renter, make sure you're protected. Renter's insurance includes options that cover stolen property, personal injury, and living expenses if your place is damaged. Quote Renter's Insurance at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3. Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR, presented by Dan Juan Cigar Bar and Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
Chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Musso. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. Five o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Oh, wait, I forgot. And Theriot. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Via the phone, we find Mr. The Riot. What are you doing?
Well, it's a little last minute. Just a little last minute vacation, Matt. That's it.
Where'd you go?
Navarre. We're at the beach.
Didn't you just go to the beach?
Yeah, we went to the beach, and then we're back at the beach.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good weather. Well, we kind of got gypped last time because the weather wasn't very good.
Hey, when you left last time, you left and didn't have anywhere to stay. Y'all just kind of started on your journey.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anywhere to stay this time?
No.
You just left with nowhere to stay.
Yesterday.
So where are you staying?
So we can go through the whole thing if you'd like.
Yes, I do find this fascinating because I think this probably gives a lot of people anxiety.
Right. And for me, it's the exact opposite. But let me just back up a little bit. So Jonna says, "Hey, let's go on vacation just one last time. School starts next week, and I want to go to the beach and make a sandcastle." And I said, "Okay." I'm not joking. Like, that's her primary goal is to do sandcastle stuff. She loves making sandcastles. So
So good.
I said, all right, when do you want to leave? She says, well, let's leave Friday. Well, Friday turned to Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday, at about, I don't want to say 11:30, I'm wrapping up some meetings. She says, hey, I'm headed home, going to pack up, we're ready to go. So I said, all right, perfect. So drive to the house, pack everything up, no big deal, and we just get in the truck and head east. And that's really, kind of like the plan.
Yeah.
Stopped at Buc-ee's, and let me just talk about Buc-ee's for a minute.
Oh God,
that place.
Please
that
don't.
place is amazing.
Please
it's
don't.
the greatest.
It's
the greatest place on earth.
It's a gas station.
I'm giving it a hug.
It's a gas.
No.
No. Buc-ee's doesn't get a hug. It's a gas
I'm giving
station.
it a hug.
Have you been to Buc-ee's? Yes, I've been to Buc-ee's. It's
great.
It's a gas station. It's a really.
No, it's not a gas station.
It's the Sam's of gas stations. It's just a
Don't
really.
you
It's
dare.
just a really big gas station. That's all
Don't
it
you
is.
dare say that. That's horrible. They've got a mascot, Matt. For Christ's sake, and
I
it's
don't
great.
care if they have a mascot.
But
Everything's
if you have
got
a mascot, you're not like Sam's. Okay, Sam's doesn't have a mascot. Exxon doesn't have a mascot.
Yeah, they do.
Look,
It's the tiger.
Go Tiger Mart doesn't have a mascot.
They got
and
a
they're
tiger
the
on their logo.
They're the second greatest gas station on the planet. Is Go Tiger Mart over there on Nicholson.
I don't understand the Buc-ee's obsession. Like, why do people think that this Buc-ee's thing is so good? It's a big gas station. That's all it is.
Can I explain it to you, Matt?
You can try. It's not going to work.
Barbecue brisket sandwiches are phenomenal. Okay, the chopped and the sliced.
There's
They've
lots
got
of
a
places
fruit-
I can go get barbecue brisket sandwiches.
They've got a fresh fruit selection off the charts.
Ugh.
Okay, I'm a big fan of the saltwater taffy that they bring to the game. The candy assortment, it's similar to Bass Pro, but the candy assortment is phenomenal. All right. Then you've got 100 gas pumps outside, so you never have to wait for your gas. Full liquor and wine and beer selection. They've got T-shirts. Listen, they've got the Halloween decor out. So they've got the Buc-ee's Halloween T-shirts. You know what? I might stop by on the way home and grab one for Drew. That's what I'm going to do. John, let's do that. We're going to do that. We're going to grab Drew a Buc-ee's Halloween T-shirt on the way home, and let him wear that. So anyway, we stopped at Buc-ee's. That was great. I wanted to change it up a little bit. I refused to go to Destin, 30A, any of those areas, because that's where all the stuck-up people go. So I'm not doing
Wait a minute. I went to Destin this year.
Exactly.
Hey,
yeah. And you put a stupid bumper sticker on the back of your car. So I'm not doing
I did not
that.
put a bumper sticker on my car. I did look for a 30A sticker for you, though. I was going to put it on your truck and not tell you, and see how long it took you to realize it was there. How long do you think it would take for you to realize that it was there?
Immediately.
There's no way.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, I inspect my truck a lot.
I live with you. You can see your bumper.
I wash my truck, and yeah, dude. You know that. I wash my truck a lot. Anyway, let me get to where we're at, because you're gonna love this.
Okay.
So, I've done Gulf Shores. It's super trashy. I love it. Okay, love Gulf Shores. I mean, there's the worst tattoos. It's like the Blue Bayou, but at the beach. God. So I did that. So that's been there, done that. Orange Beach is just like the people that used to go to Gulf Shores that made a little money. Now they call it Orange Beach, but it's really Gulf Shores. Okay. Done that. And so I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let me go to Pensacola, because back in the day, dude, Pensacola was good.
I like Pensacola. Spot. I like going to
Portofino.
Portofino, yeah, we've done that a couple times. Really good.
Yes. So we get into Pensacola, cross over the bridge, and of course, dude, it hits me right in the face. Big zip line place, which was awesome. But dude, as we're
you're so stupid.
But listen, as we're driving into Pensacola, I took a picture of the sign on the side of the road that said "Welcome to Pensacola Beach." I sent it to my boy Warren Hanna, who's from here, who I played with the Cubs in the minor leagues, just throwing the bait out there to see if he had a beach house, that he was going to let me stay at. I didn't ask, but he offered. He offered, so that's good. And so that's where we're at. So Warren.
So you send him a picture, say, "Hey, I'm in Pensacola." He's like, "Do you want to stay at my house?"
Well, he's like, "Hey, where are y'all staying?" And I said, "I don't know, dude. Might stay in one of these little hotels. Looks good. We're just really here, for the zip line and go-karts. You know what I mean? Like, why else would you go to the beach?" And he's like, "Well, dude, I got a house." No, he says, I sold my house on the beach, but I've got another rental property in Navarre. I mean, he goes, you're welcome to stay at it if you'd like. I'm like, no, we're good. We'll just figure it out. Like, really didn't want to sound desperate.
Yeah. But you're really hoping that he insists.
Yeah.
Of
and
course.
And then he did, dude. It was perfect. He was like, no, dude, really, seriously, don't stay at a hotel. Go stay at the house. Like, if you're going to twist my arm, I guess I will.
So where are you? So you're in Navarre.
Navarre's nice, by the way.
Are you on the water?
Yeah. I
Are
mean, it's a nice setup.
Are you by Windjammers on the pier? Or the Salty Air Retreat?
I don't think so.
I mean, I'm just looking at a map with Navarre and what's around there.
I'm like right in the middle of like all the stuff on Navarre Beach.
That's so good.
I'm passing up the Tom Thumb right now, the gas station Tom Thumb.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Tom Thumb.
Yeah, that's where I'm passing. Let me see. You know what? What's this place called?
I don't know.
So anyway, look, the story gets better. So we get to the house last night. Really nice, so we're on the third floor is like the master and all that stuff. And we got all the kids with us. And been driving all day, zip lining, go-karts, that whole thing. So everybody's kind of tired. And so I go up, took a shower, go to sleep, watch Narcos. AC breaks.
Oh, no. He stuck you in a piece of crap place with no AC.
So it's like 11. So I text the property manager, hey, no big deal, whatever, but just want to let you know for future guests. In other words, get your ass out here to fix this. And so, dude, they came to fix it, but they didn't fix it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so
at 11 at night.
Dude, last night was miserable.
Oh,
I woke up this morning, it was 84 degrees upstairs. The kids were good, though. The second and first floor were freezing cold, so they were good.
Yeah, you should have gone and slept downstairs.
Well, I don't, because Houston's coughing all over the place, and I don't want to get sick. So I'm trying to stay away from him.
He's sick?
Yeah, well, he's just, kids are nasty, bro. Like, they don't, that's just, it's one of those deals.
But you spent, 6 hours in a car with him?
No, legit rolled the window down in the back when he would start trying to cough, and he got all pissed at me.
What does it matter? I mean, you're still breathing all of his exhalations. If he's sick, he's still putting all those contaminants into the air that you're breathing.
Well, if I didn't have my My Clean Living plugged in, I'd probably worry about it. But I had my My Clean Living mobile. I had it plugged in.
The Fresh Air Mobile, mycleanliving.net. Get you one. You really should never. You should really never travel without one.
You really shouldn't. I mean, there's zero smell, so everything smells great and fresh. You can literally fart on the thing and you can't smell it. And it kills COVID. It kills flu. It kills concrete. It kills everything.
All of it. MyCleanLiving.net.
Monkeypox. It kills monkeypox too. By the way,
MyCleanLiving.net. You nailed it.
Yeah.
All right, I got to grab a break. Do you have a letter you want to do, or were you just telling us your story?
I just wanted to tell you kind of where we are, what we're doing. And to top it all off, I've got a roommate at my house right now.
Your home in Baton Rouge, or there at Navarre?
My home in Baton Rouge. So yeah, I mean, we could do the next segment. I could tell you what's going on there.
Well, who's staying at your house?
Big Dunk.
Why is he staying there?
Well, Big Dunk's got him a crib he got him a house, bro. I'm proud of my guy.
Good.
Yeah, but it's not ready yet.
Okay, so he's staying at your house till his house is ready.
So we got a housemate. We got a roommate right now. I feel like I'm at LSU or Broadmoor again.
Got it back. Getting the band back together. Love to hear that.
Big Dunk and his English bulldog that he wants to breed. Ooh. So that's his new business idea. He wants to breed dogs.
Nope.
At my house.
Nope. It's a bad idea.
Yeah, there's nothing good about that idea.
When are you coming back?
That's a good question.
The kids have school on Monday?
Thursday.
Oh, not till Thursday. Oh.
I got some big meetings on Monday. Actually, I have a meeting Sunday night, which Tilly just threw that one on me.
Yeah, I was on that text chain, by the way. It's a HUDCO meeting that we have on Sunday.
He can go to Anguilla, wherever he goes, for 2 weeks, but I can't even go to freaking Pensacola without having to come back to some stupid meeting. But,
you're not going to stay there 4 days anyway. You don't stay anywhere for 4 days. You're going to be tired of it by tomorrow. You're probably just going to pack up and drive home tomorrow.
There's a chance of that happening. Well, no, John wants to go to this theme park, so we're not coming back tomorrow.
You're going to go to the theme park during the day and then drive home tomorrow night?
No, we're going to Portofino tomorrow, hanging out at the pool.
Oh, good. Good. Okay.
I got it planned out. I mean, but look, this is all subject to change. I mean, let's be honest.
I know. It's the Theriot way. It's I think about the contrast being that Erica, like my wife, who literally starts planning our summer vacation like at Christmas. And everything is packed and labeled, and like it's bags inside of bags inside of bags that are all labeled and sub-labeled, and just like the degree of preparation is so over the top. I mean, you two are the antithesis of one another, which is
yeah. That's part of it, bro. I mean, yeah, but once you do, you can't really knock it till you've tried it with this stuff. Seriously. It's good. It's fun.
No, I'll tell you straight up, Mr. Theriot. I would have been totally down for that, when I was like 22. But at 40, not so much.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot more freedom at 40 too. I mean, you got a little bit more money. You can kind of do what you want to do. I mean,
Yeah, but I'm saying at 40, I want convenience is what I want.
Yeah.
I don't want to go just figure it out, sort of.
I'll tell you, convenient. Convenience doing whatever the hell you want to do, whenever the hell you want to do it. That's convenient.
I mean, yeah, unless if you can't find a place to stay in Navarre Beach. Because not everybody has a buddy they played with the Cubs who's got a place that they can just let them drop in on at Navarre Beach.
Yeah. Last time we did it, our guy, Colson hooked me up.
I know.
It was great.
I know, but not everybody's got a Colson.
Not everybody's got a guy. You got to get you a guy.
You got to get you a guy.
This has been fun. I got to go make a sandcastle.
What happened to do in the next segment?
Yeah, I'm good. I already told you about Big Dunk.
Yeah, I'm over it anyway. All right, so I'll see you. You'll probably be back tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, man. Have a good show.
Right. That's Ryan Theriot, who's not here because his family decided that. By the way, there's probably, I'm going to guess, somebody right now thinking that was made up. Hand on a Bible, pinky swear, whatever, 100% legitimate what you just heard. They got in a car on Thursday and just started driving. That's what they do. It's incredible. To each their own. All right, Tayvion Galloway, 4-star tight end commitment for the class of 2024. Next, it's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1-hour air. Boy, I tell you what, Theriot down there at Navarre Beach couldn't get the AC fixed. You want to know why? Because River City's 1-hour air doesn't go to Navarre Beach. If they did, no problem whatsoever. Nights, holidays, weekends, doesn't matter. AC goes out, call 752-0001, 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. Again, nights, holidays, weekends, and they'll never charge you extra to come out after hours. So, hanging out at the house tonight, the power goes out or your AC goes out, no worries. No matter that it's a Friday or that the weekend's here. Call River City's 1-hour air. They'll come get you back up and running. Make sure that your home central AC is in tip-top shape. Make sure that a small problem doesn't become a very big, very expensive problem. They're always on time or you don't pay a dime. At River City's 1-hour air, look for the big yellow vans and trucks with a giant clock on the side. River City's 1-hour air, 752-0001.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Brian Kelly and the football Tigers continue their hot summer on the recruiting trail. Earlier last month, as a matter of fact, got a big-time commit from a tight end out of Ohio, Tayvion Galloway, 6'5", 230 pounds, the number 5 tight end in the country in the 247 composite. And Tayvion Galloway good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Hey, man, we appreciate a couple of minutes on this Friday. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. I don't think that there's any recruit in this class that has been more vocal, outspoken on Twitter, championing the purple and gold, waving the purple and gold banner than you. Why? Why have you been so outspoken and such a staunch recruiter in this class?
I really don't know. That's just kind of who I am, just an outspoken person. And, I'm just trying to make it the best while I'm out in Louisiana. I'm trying to just bring everybody with me. So I'm just trying to do my recruiting and trying to get guys over to Louisiana just so we can have the best team possible when I'm there.
Hey, man, let's talk a little bit about why you picked LSU. I mean, you had offers from all over the place. Ultimately, what was it about LSU that made you feel comfortable?
For me, one of the biggest deciders was probably really just my relationship with Coach Denbrock. He was recruiting me out of Cincinnati before he was even at LSU. And me and him, we just had a real tight, genuine connection. And that just went a long way with me. And he showed, how much he was willing to do for me and how much he actually wanted me. Because whenever he got to LSU, I was actually the first class of 24 person that he had offered, and that just meant a lot to me, and it showed how much he was really willing to do for me, and how much he really wanted me, and then it just really felt like home from my first visit there. I visited there 2 times so far, but each time I went there, it just felt like home, and it felt better than any other program in the country to me.
Hey, man, do you think if Coach Denbrock were still at Cincinnati, do you think that you might be a Cincinnati Bearcat?
Who knows? It could definitely have changed things a little bit, but everything at LSU just worked out for me. I love the whole coaching staff there. It's more than just Denbrock, but that was just a big deciding factor for me. I love Coach Kelly. I'm over Coach Malone, who also helps with the tight ends. I just love everybody on that staff, and it really just fit perfectly for me.
Yeah, Tayvion Galloway is our guest, tight end commitment for LSU here in the class of 2024. Y'all follow him on Twitter and Instagram. He's at Tayvion Galloway. Brian Kelly's reputation, you kind of just mentioned it there. In his time at Notre Dame, he had more tight ends drafted than LSU's had in the program in the last 30 years. It's his niche, right? I mean, it's a thing he does very well. What is it, when you sit down and you talk to him, why has he been so effective at recruiting and developing tight ends and getting them to the next level?
He really just understands. He just has a great mind on understanding just really how to use the tight end. He'll use the tight end at blocking and receiving. Because a lot of guys, especially nowadays, tight ends, they think, oh, I'm just a big guy that can't be guarded. I'm just gonna go up and catch the ball. But it's more than that. You gotta be able to block too, and you gotta be able to show all that film to the NFL guys so they can see that you can do it all around. Because tight end is a real versatile position, and you got to be able to do a lot. And I think Coach Kelly, he's just one of them guys that knows that, and he really understands the position well, and he understands what he has to do to be able to feed that position. And then, with the numbers that he has with the tight end position, sending guys to the league, and just the numbers that they get, guys just see that, tight ends see that, and they're like, oh, yeah, I want to play for a guy like that.
Yeah, man.
Play for a coach like that.
Yeah, it's exciting, obviously. And, man, I look – so you're a rising junior. So you just finished your sophomore year, and you're 6'5", 230. If that's still accurate, like when did you hit that growth spurt to where you're 6'5", 230 as a high school sophomore?
I've really been kind of like taller than everybody around my age group, really my whole life. But I'll say probably like me going into my middle school years where I really started to like sprout up and just like really stand out. But whenever I really started putting serious weight on, I was after this previous season because I just noticed that I could get a lot stronger and faster, and I knew that strength comes with like having strength in your legs comes with a lot of speed, and I was trying to get faster. I was just trying to get more explosive all around, and I knew that I needed to put weight on. So I was just committed to the weight room all off season, and I just found out that like whenever you really commit to it, like the growth shows.
Is there anybody in your family that's bigger than 6'5"?
No, I know I've had like my great grandpa. I'm pretty sure you're something around there, but I don't really know for sure.
Does your mom like go like, man, when are you gonna stop? I keep having to buy new clothes for you like every 6 months.
I get that all the time.
I bet so, man.
Yeah.
Like, because it's crazy to think, man. So what are you're I guess 15 years old, 16 years old?
16.
16, man. Like you're probably not done growing either.
That's the exciting thing about it.
Oh man.
Sure.
Tayvion Galloway is our guest, 4-star tight end for the class of 2024. He's an LSU commitment. I saw you tweet that you want to come down to an LSU game this year. You said you've made 2 visits to campus, but not for a game yet. Do you know what game you're trying to get to?
Right now, I'm still looking as to which one I want to go to. But I've heard the big things about the Southern game, and I was thinking about maybe looking into going to the Tennessee game.
Yeah, both of those will be night games. Both of those will be a great party, man. Down here in Baton Rouge. I
definitely want to go to see a good hectic game for sure. I want to see the fans go crazy.
Well, Bama would be a good one, but that's probably going to be the 2:30 CBS afternoon game.
That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, Tennessee and Southern will be a night game. Tennessee will most likely be a night game as well, man. So either one of those would probably be a really good one to catch. He's on Twitter at Tayvion Galloway, LSU 4-star tight end commit for the class of 2024. Hey, one more thing before you go. Give me your impressions of things that stood out when you were in Baton Rouge, man. What did you like about the Baton Rouge and about the campus?
Do you mean like just Baton Rouge is like a city?
Yeah, whatever you got. Did you get to eat? Did you get to go around campus? What did you see? What did you like?
Yes, for me, some of the biggest things about Baton Rouge is really the food down there. I love down south. I love the food. I feel like, especially that seafood, crawfish, I love it. And then just really the hospitality that everybody just seems to have, and just the love for football down there. It's completely different than what it is up here.
You a Bengals fan or a Browns fan?
I'm definitely more towards the Bengals.
All right. So you Joey B, Jamar Chase, those guys?
Yeah.
Well, there's an LSU pipeline up that way, and it's good to see the pipeline coming back this way as well. Man, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Have an awesome weekend. Good luck getting ready for your junior season, man. We appreciate a couple of minutes.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. That is Tayvion Galloway. This is After Further Review, brought to you by GMFS Mortgage and GMFSmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loans. A lot of people right now are thinking, I'll wait to buy until the rates go down again. Remember, man, you could buy now and then refinance when rates dip again. GMFS Mortgage, a local loan officer, can help walk you through all of your options. And maybe that's what's best for you. But start with that call to a local loan officer. No matter where you are in the state of Louisiana, GMFS Mortgage has offices all over Louisiana. So go to the website, gmfsmortgage.com. Hit the loan officer tab right there at the top of the page. Find a local loan officer near you and get that process started. The number one local lender in the state of Louisiana. Number 11 in the entire country. That's GMFS Mortgage. gmfsmortgage.com. GMFS Mortgage, changing lives. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. I've been a really good show today. If you missed anything, no Theriot. Well, we had Theriot call in just a bit ago, but the Theriots made a last-minute family vacation. But we did start the show today with Brian Kelly talking about quarterbacks, offensive line, Kayshon Boutte, running backs, Trey Bradford, obviously no longer with the program. Maddy Hudak was with us to start hour number 2. Ben Nippolt, who is the infielder from VCU, was with us an hour ago. If you missed that, you could check it out. And you just heard from Tayvion Galloway, 4-star tight end commit for the class of 2024. A lot of good stuff. Remember, if you missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. You can book your tee time at golf.breck.org. Had a great meeting yesterday with all my friends over at Breck. Just been a great partnership for all of the Breck properties. But, of course, we get to stress the great golf courses around the greater Baton Rouge area. So get out and swing in this weekend at a Breck course, golf.breck.org. Okay, a quick break. When we come back, reset some of what Dennis Allen had to say after day 9 of Saints camp today. And we've kind of been sprinkling in some of what Brian Kelly had to say last night. We've gone through the quarterbacks, through Kayshon Boutte, through the offensive line. He did give an update on Jarek Bernard-Converse, who missed a portion of spring with an injury. And I do want to talk a little bit about the running back battle. Noah Cain is going to meet with reporters in about 15 minutes. This will be the media's first time to chat with Noah Cain, the Louisiana native who started his career at Penn State and is now transferred back to his home state and played LSU this year. And big spot, especially with Bradford no longer being on the team. All right, it's After Further Review. We'll continue. Thanks for being here. Stick around.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital. Weekend is upon us. If this weekend you find yourself in need of medical help, of course, the Baton Rouge General Hospital is always available and a resource to you. Maybe it's just everyday sprains and strains, bumps and bruises, sneezes and sniffles. The Baton Rouge General Express Care locations are a great option. It's walk-in urgent care 7 days a week. You can check wait times online or on the app. You can check in online or on the app at brgeneral.org. That's brgeneral.org. Of course, the Baton Rouge General Mid-City location, they reopened their emergency room amid COVID and have still maintained that emergency room. The Baton Rouge General Mid-City location is where our regional burn center is located. I say it every day, expanding healthcare in Baton Rouge, but that's what Baton Rouge General does. Part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network, where your physician here gets expert clinical collaboration with the experts at the Mayo Clinic at no extra cost to you. It's the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today at revelryteam.com. Revelry Sports, the official tailgate partner of LSU Athletics.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yeah, look, I thought there were some good plays in the passing game. You know, I thought there was some timing, some rhythm, some accuracy in terms of what we were doing in the passing game. So I thought that was all pretty good. I thought the tempo overall was pretty good. So again, look, I'm going to get back in there and take a look at the tape and see what it looked like on the tape. But just, you know, at first glance, I thought they looked pretty good today.
Dennis Allen, after day 9, talking about his offense, day 9 of training camp. Saints will be back on the practice field tomorrow. They'll have an off day Sunday, be back at it again on Monday. If you want a full camp report, Maddy Hudak was with us in hour number 2. Go check that out on demand on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel or AFR on demand, however you get your podcast, Spotify, iTunes. Just search After Further Review. Got our own page where each hour individually is posted every day. One of the interesting things that came down yesterday while we were on the air is that the Saints have signed Kiko Alonso. Last played in the NFL for the Saints in 2019. Of course, was injured to begin 2020. He was put on IR. He started the season, I guess, on the PUP list. The Saints traded Kiko Alonso in a pick to San Francisco for Quan Alexander. He never played in San Francisco in 2020 and then missed all of last season as well. So it's been 2 years since Kiko Alonso has played in the NFL, but they're giving him a shot. Here was Dennis Allen on the signing.
Number one, what drew us to him was we have some familiarity with the player. He did a nice job in his workout. He was in shape. He looked good. And when he's been healthy, he's been a productive player in our league. And so that was kind of what drew us to him. And it looked like he moved around, you know, pretty well today. So just kind of getting him back into the flow of things and see where he's at, but glad to have him out there.
Yeah, it's interesting with Kiko Alonso because it's tough to tell if he's out there to be a camp body or if they legitimately think that he's going to be able to make this team. You know where you stand with your two starters with Demario Davis and with Pete Werner. Werner has been slowed here to start camp, as we've all talked about and know pretty well. But after that at linebacker, you know, Zach Bond, you're still waiting for him to come along. Caden Ellis and Andrew Dowell have been pretty good football players for you when they've gotten the opportunity. You drafted DeMarco Jackson out of Appalachian State, so you got the rookie draft pick. You're trying to make a team. So after Davis and Pete Werner, you don't necessarily have great options there. So, sure, I mean, there's an opportunity for Kiko Alonso to make the team. It's just a little uncharacteristic for a 31-year-old who hadn't played in 2 years to try to make a team as a backup and a special teams player. But as you heard Dennis Allen say, familiarity with Kiko Alonso came in great shape, moved pretty well. Guys kept himself in good shape. When he's been healthy, he's been good. Let's see if he can stay healthy. A couple of things I want to get to from Brian Kelly yesterday. And again, the way LSU media availability is going to go the next couple of days, just to kind of fill you in. No more practice availability for the media until Monday. They'll practice Monday morning. But today, there are 4 players that are going to meet with the media: Noah Cain, Kayshon Boutte, Mike Jones, and Jaquelin Roy. That's scheduled for about 5 minutes from right now, about 5:45 Central Time. So we're waiting to see, what those guys have to say. The Noah Cain conversation, I'm going to be very interested in. By the way, as far as the weekend, LSU will there's no media availability at all Saturday or Sunday. The next media availability is Monday, where we'll get to see 30 minutes of practice, and then Mike Denbrock is going to meet with reporters on Monday, which I love. I love the fact that we're actually going to get access to the coordinators and the assistant coaches. It's just something we have not had in more than 20 years. I mean, Nick Saban didn't allow coordinator access, neither did Les or Ed Ogeron. So we haven't spoken to coordinators regularly ever in my career here covering LSU. And you'd have to go back to people who covered DiNardo. And quite honestly, I don't know. I don't know if DiNardo allowed that. So, excuse me. So we'll talk to Mike Denbrock on Monday. I want to get back to what Brian Kelly had to say about the running back position here in just a second. Quick reminder about the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. Tell you every day about hormone replacement therapy. Safe, it's affordable, gets you feeling like your younger self. You want to feel revitalized. You want to wake up with more energy, to sleep better at night. You want to have more energy throughout the day. You want to have the motivation to get into the gym. You want to have better gains in the gym, burn that stubborn fat, build muscle like you did when you were younger. You can. Every person ages differently. So no matter what your age is, biologically, you could be further along in the aging process. Hormone replacement therapy, a simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate. They can help you at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online, theantiagingclinics.com. Brian Kelly mentioned Trey Bradford no longer with the team, and we're going to hear from Noah Cain in just a few minutes when he meets with the media. But here was Brian Kelly this is number 9, Muse, on that running back room.
They're all going to have a great chance, to contribute. I really like the depth of the group. You had, Cain to that mix as well. And I think, all of them have a chance to contribute, much like we saw in the spring game where we had a lot of guys contribute. I think that's going to be probably what happens here this year. And I'm okay with that. I think that's great. I mean, I think all of them are very competitive and all bring a little bit something different to the table, but all will contribute in some fashion.
Ty Davis-Price last year had 211 rushing attempts for 1,003 yards. He just cleared that 1,000-yard barrier. It was very reminiscent of Nick Brissett's 2018. Now, Brissett didn't get drafted, and Ty Davis-Price was a third-round pick of the 49ers. And hat tip to Hester, who talked kind of about the Niners, the style of offense they run, and why that stylistically fits Ty Davis-Price so well. But I would love to see what John Emery could do with 200 attempts. Like Ty Davis-Price got, 211 rushing attempts and averaged just under 5 yards a carry at 4.8. Obviously, the Florida game just completely helped with the season total and the average. But I'd love to see John Emery have a season where he could get 200 carries. But if John Emery could get 200 and maybe Noah Cain could get 100 carries and combined, those two could rush for 1,500 yards, I think you'd have a pretty formidable 1-2 punch. I just don't know enough about Armani Goodwin to tell you if I think he's got an opportunity to make a dent. And Josh Williams is actually LSU's leading returning rusher with 107 yards a year ago. I just think athletically you're talking about a guy that isn't on par with those other three. And with a new coaching staff and everything having to be earned, I don't know. The thing maybe that I'll be most interested in with the backs, because Brian Kelly, and I know Mike Denbrock as well, they like to throw the ball to the running back out of the backfield. Kyron Williams last year for Notre Dame was a really good pass catcher out of the backfield. And, that's something that LSU certainly lacked a year ago and something that John Emery struggled with early in his career. By the way, John Emery had LASIK with Dr. Blake Williamson over at the Williamson Eye Center. I mean, I remember watching John as a freshman at practice, and he was struggling to catch wheel routes and dump passes out of the backfield. And they realized he had vision issues. So he had the corrective surgery, and we were supposed to get to see it on full display last year. And then, obviously, last year he wasn't eligible. But, Kyron Williams last year for Notre Dame had 42 receptions. I mean, he had 42 receptions for 359 yards and 3 scores. I mean, and the year before that, he had 35 catches. I mean, 42 receptions would have been second on LSU's team behind Jack Besh, or maybe third behind Besh and Butte. But they're going to throw the ball to the backs. Who's the best receiver out of the backfield? I think it's going to be very important for this team as well as they build this offense. All right, y'all, it's after further review. We'll knock out our final break. Jimmy texted me the picks. So, Muse, yesterday he was at the track.
Sure was.
He acknowledged later to me that he was buzzed at the track.
Oh, really?
No kidding.
Wow. Okay.
If you missed it, he was standing, which sounded like right next to the trumpeter at the call to the post while he was doing the segment. And then in the middle of giving one of his picks, just got distracted, stopped giving the picks and the explanation, and then somebody standing right next to him threw out an expletive and said, we don't have time for this expletive, and they needed to get a bet in. He's going back to the track right now. He sent me the pick, so I don't know if he's coming on the show or if we're just giving the pick. So let's call him and see.
Okay.
But if not, I'll just give you Otter's locks when we come back next. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. If you need a hot meal for the whole family tonight or any night, get them by Rouse's. Rouse's is the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Hot lunch and dinner every single day. And by the way, they've got daily specials also. So if you go to the website at rouses.com, you can see everything that they have available and even their daily food specials every day of the week, no matter what it is. Friday, by the way, is seafood day. So they got great seafood specials every Friday over at Rouse's. So let Rouse's take care of dinner tonight. Everything you need on the grocery side, they've got you over at Rouse's. Delivery and pickup options are available as well. And they have a great beer and liquor and wine selection. The bakery, the floral department, they got everything at Rouse's. The official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's. This feels like home.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing.
I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Down the stretch we come. Oh, man, that has completely different meaning now. Final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. One thing left to do. Let's go out to the track and hope that Otter doesn't have a drunkard next to him who curses while there's a trumpeter blowing the horn. Yeah, go ahead.
Otter Locks, presented by Workbox Services. For over 20 years, Baton Rouge's leader on on-site construction, industrial, and residential services.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable and often incomprehensible, the Outfather himself, Jimmy Ott. Otter, are you aware of what happened on Otter Locks last night?
I got a broom. That's a hint. Broom, baby.
I'd love to say that was the case, but I couldn't hear half the picks over the.
Well, you know, hey, look. I mean, it beats what's been happening previously.
No doubt.
You know,
hey,
look.
Who was the person that came up near the end of the show and apparently was trying to hastily get you to a window?
The server, and I think she had too much to drink on the job.
The server did?
Oh, look, see, Bing Crosby. It's the song coming on. It's perfect time. No trumpeter today. We're a little past that. He already did it. So it's 4 o'clock Friday, so I'm more coherent, having a later start. So, serve means to serve.
It was so good.
Old Del Mar.
Oh, God, it was so good. I mean, you didn't give the last pick, Otter, because you were starting an explanation, and then whoever that person was came up to you and was like, we don't have time for this. You started to tell them a horse racing thing, and then that person cursed. Muse cut you off.
Yeah, that was the lady. Yeah,
Muse cut you off, and then then the show ended. So, I don't even know what the last pick was. But you were 3 for 3 on the ones we got.
Yeah, Dodgers -1.5. They run. Houston -1.5. They won. Mets won, and then we had a St. Louis hooking up with a parlay. So
okay,
give me one more ding,
let's get. The man's earned the dings after the 2 weeks he's had. He's earned the dings. Okay.
Hey. Let's keep it going. I do. There's 5 games that I like, but I do really, really like them. It's a full slate. Got the minor league game out the way today at Wrigley Field, so let's get to them. I love those road teams cutting down the juice, with the run line. White Sox, -1.5 against the Rangers.
Okay.
Dylan Cease is on fire. Otto is the pitcher for Texas. One letter off, but a world apart. That guy sucks. Okay, so we stay away from that. Pirates and Orioles. I love the Orioles, but Dean Creamer, the rookie, He's added 2.5 whole points to his ERA his last 5 starts. Keller's pitching better. I mean, I love the Orioles. They're the number 1 ROI team in all of baseball, but Pittsburgh plus $1.35, $1.40, something like that is worth it. Coming off the sweep against Milwaukee.
Okay.
The one dog there. Back to the well. Astros minus 1.5. Guardians starting the first timer, and we'll take Framber Valdez. All-star, sub-3 ERA, and you know those bats are cooking. And again, check RotoWire, make sure Alvarez is playing. Maybe Musso could do that right now, but he's a big part of that lineup. Braves, Mets, staying away. That's a good matchup. Your New York Yankees minus 1.5 against the Cardinals. Nasty Nestor, you follow him. He's been great, man.
Been awesome this year, man.
Yeah, been great. And so, let's ride him.
1 minute
plus
remaining.
money minus 1.5.
Okay.
And the over 8.5 Padres and Dodgers. I saw Manaea pitch last week in Texas. I don't like his stuff. Dodgers are on fire with the bat, and now this star-studded lineup going to Chavez Ravine against Gonsolin, who's struggling, Matt. He's added a whole point to his ERA the last 3 starts. So over 8.5 Padres Dodgers.
Let's cash some tickets. All right, Otter, have a great weekend. Enjoy the track.
No vulgarity, huh? Progress, right?
Progress is the good thing. Thank you, Otter.
All right, see you, buddy.
All right, game time with Jimmy Ott is at 10 a.m. on Friday, so it's not next. Views, Paulie, have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. You know, sometimes driving along and ding, the check engine light comes on. Or ding, you need an oil change. Hey, I like it. That's pretty good. Or ding, you got low tire pressure. Or or maybe that's just what it sounds like when like a rock hits your windshield or whatever it may be. If you need anything with your vehicle, Shawbills can help. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. Shawbills has been selling the best tires on the road for the cheapest price possible for more than 50 years. Go to the website at ShawBillsTire.com. Hit the promotions tab at the top. You'll see all of the manufacturer's offers, and then Shawbills will have their own in-house offers to get you even better deals on the best tires on the road, and, of course, bumper-to-bumper auto service. Bumper-to-bumper auto service, name brand tires at wholesale prices. They treat you like family, and they've been doing it for more than 50 years. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.